Alright everyone, we're about to start in a few seconds. I want everyone here to tell me if you can hear me pretty nice or pretty poorly. Hit 1 if you can hear me. Hit the like button if you like the sound of my voice. And, I don't know, hit 2 if I sound terrible. Garbly nonsense sound. You know, the worst kind of sound possible. There you go. Now, chat, I am going to need your help with this one, because unfortunately, I had a plan. We're going to have to do it spur of the moment before we get started. And chat, I need your actual help on this one. I'm counting on all of you, every last one of you, to help do something that may or may not be a terrible idea, but by God, we're going to try it anyway. And I hope you're ready for it, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I hope for the best. See how it goes. Now, mind you, I'm trusting you. Don't let me down. Music too loud? How about now? That a little better? Alright then. In 5, 4, 3, 2... I lied to you. I am a deceptive person, and you gotta get used to that. So welcome everyone to the stream of some kind. Hopefully we all have a good day today. It's been a wild weekend, hasn't it? Oh man, 2 releases back to back. A slanderous attack video, which by the way I will be responding to. And the craziness that is life. And there is some interesting stuff going on in the griftosphere. A new grift happening involving VTubers, as well as AndyPants Gaming's continued war, fighting for the wants of normal people. Arguably, the way he counts as normal, therein lies the question, isn't it? Therein lies the question. How's everyone's day so far? Everyone doing alright? Now, I do want to share with you what I'm planning here. I'm trying to get a bingo card generated here for AndyPants Gaming. Chat, what are some AndyPants Gaming-isms that you think I need to include in a bingo card that you'll all play, hopefully? What are some options? What are some options? Speaking of Remnant 777, what do you think the nicknames that came from him? Remy Boy or Temu Tactical Templar? He is kind of a Temu armored skeptic, isn't he? Except more religious. Man, Remnant, I am thinking, oh man. Oh man. Ooh, anti-Semitism, that's a good one. Nostalgic game. Oh, 2000 Xbox 360 reference is another one. Let me think here. What else is there? Debunking. Yeah, there needs to be some. Try to watch Andy's videos for the stream end. I just couldn't. Yeah, he's a rough one to sit through. Oh, slurs. There we go. Homophobic slurs. That's a given. Success right there. Let's go with calling women ugly. There's another one. Sexism. Talking about being a real man. Here's a bonus one that may or may not be referenced. Talking about his game. Insulting Act Man. That's another good one. Yeah, I know I should have had the bingo card set up before we started. Ooh, super chat.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. My mayor Muslim, something Knicks in 5.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Go Knicks. I don't keep up with
these. At Cartoon49 super chatted $2. Thoughts on Disclosure Day, if you've seen it yet?
I'm assuming you mean Disclosure Day. Yeah, I've not seen it yet, actually. I want to, though. I mean, Spielberg is... Listen, you can't count Spielberg out. Spielberg's one of those directors who is consistently always good.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $5. Whenever a grifter like AndyPants or Stuttering Craig talks about normal people, whether for or against, you know you're going on a dark trip.
Exactly. It's calling... Up, super chat coming
At
in?
user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. Mamdani makes me proud to be in NYC. Bew?
No, yeah. Mamdani's awesome. Mamdani. Oh, I cannot word today. Wow. Mamdani is absolutely fantastic, I think, so far. And crime is down in New York. Apparently, if you address the core sources of crime, crime goes down. Can you imagine that? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Ain't you see The Furious yet? No, I have not. Unfortunately, I have not. I want to, but I have not yet. Witch Mercury, very good show. Sorry.
At O0OJOLONO00 super chatted $5. I watched a video of Snowbricks96 debunking AndyPants not long ago. At one point, I swore Andy said that women should stay in the kitchen.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, this doesn't let me do... okay, this is not going to work out. I'm sorry. This bingo generator I'm using, it's a pay for thing. I'm not going to do that. We'll figure out something another time. Don't worry. It's all good. Yeah, sadly, I can't do this one. It requires you to pay money to actually generate the card. I'll figure it out another time. But that being said, though, welcome, everyone. Hope you're all having a good day. It's been a while. A lot of people... okay, so I'm going to talk about something first that is... Okay, so let me tell you this first before we get started. I saw some... Ooh, super chat coming in.
At Thydraith 3223 super chatted $6.71. Id ad, picture of women, LGBT devs in group photo.
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's always that way with him. He's always the same with all of it. I do want to talk about something real quick, though, that I'm excited about, kind of. Yo, how can you... Oh, super chat?
At DJLOL5 super chatted $5.81. Did you see the trailer for Eli Roth's Ice Cream Man?
Yes, I did.
Oh, my God. It honestly makes cooties and weapons look like a Disney movie in comparison.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It looks fun. Eli Roth is a figure.
At Racer45 super chatted $5. Does AndyPants know that people plays games to relax and to have fun and they are casuals? If somebody is having fun, who cares?
No. AndyPants does not know anything. I don't think he lives in reality. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, this looks really fun. This new movie is being kickstarted. Dinosaurs of the Wild West. Kickstarter opens up in 20 days. I feel like I'm going to be supporting that one when it drops. Oh, Athena P has a new video. That's cool. I like Athena P. Good stuff there. I know Athena's seen some of my videos, and it's always surreal knowing that YouTubers I like have seen like my stuff. I always find it so surreal. Anyway. Speaking of which, I got to talk about the first drama of the evening that I just want to talk about because it intersects with my area of expertise and the things I like watching for fun sometimes, which is VTubers. Yep.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $4.99. I love that the new Street Fighter movie is embracing the silly.
Same.
More movies need to embrace their silly premises.
I know, right? We need more goofy stuff in movies. Like, it gets so... There used to be a period in the 2000s where you had to be hardcore and gritty. I'm not sure what started it. It might have been the Michael Bay Transformers. It might have been Christopher Nolan. I don't know what it is specifically, but there was a while up until the MCU really started kicking into stride where everything was trying to be more realistic, and that was exhausting. It was a couple of years of that. Like dark and gritty friggin' Robin Hood. But just forgetting again now, but still. Okay, so I guess this is the start of this. Because, wow. So as a lot of you guys know, Chippy Reviews exists. I'm sorry, Chippy Reviews jump scare. I know. My apologies already. Chippy Reviews recently claims to have been attacked by the VTuber Demi. This particular bit of entertainment I have to examine because, as a lot of you guys know, I do watch VTubers. Quite a bit, actually. It's a good background stuff. Chippy Reviews is also someone I have not really covered in any extent. Mainly because he is a bit of a clown. There's no other way of putting it. He is one of the biggest clowns in the space. And the problem is he overshares, right? Like, granted, like everyone overshares a little bit on the internet, a little bit too much. People are too open sometimes, but there's a different level of oversharing that Chippy Reviews has. Now, for those who don't know, Chippy Reviews, formerly engaged, lost his girl to his best friend who she cheated on.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $4.99. Also, Mina's been so much fun since launch. What if Mouse Girl Link's Awakening was more Dark Souls?
That's a good question. More Dark Souls. Yeah, no. So Chippy Reviews is anyway, I'll just come right into it. I don't entirely know this drama. I was seeing some folks who are friends of the channel talk about it, and I want to dig into it a little bit more. So let's take a look. Actually, let me bring up a good channel to talk about this. One sec. Clicking off of chat for a second here. Oh, that's a long-ass video. So, TTPN Gaming, friend of the channel. We're going to talk about his video. If you're in chat, by the way, say hi. Say hi, by the way, if you're in chat. But let me bring up chat real quick.
At Olivia_Williams_purple_fairy super chatted $1.99. Jason Bourne and Casino Royale, I think, started that.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true. Hey, what's going on, TTPN Gaming? Yeah, you're in chat. So yeah, so you're in chat. Say hi to yourself. I know, jump scared by yourself. Your video covered some of the topic very well, but I do want to dive into the video itself because as much as I want to hear your commentary, I think it's a good introduction to the background of the case.
But she didn't apologize. I feel this is important to say. If Demi actually offered me a sincere apology, I'd accept it on spot. I believe in forgiveness and goodwill. However, apologies are hard nowadays because of pride and ego usually gets in the way, especially if you're a content creator. He started it, though. Like, he started it. And what I hate, especially on the internet, is when people act like this.
Yeah, so he started a beef with Demi, basically.
At Zypher 8677 super chatted $2. Direct correlation between dark, gritty, and post 9/11.
Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, post 9/11 media really went into the gritty. And you know, it helps out that we were confronted, like every time there's a major war, Vietnam had this too. There's a direct correlation with just bringing up some intensely grim visuals in all of your media and art. Things get more stark, things get more intense. It's awful. Speaking of locales, and have you heard the recent controversy, the Chimptopia one, where some MAGA chud tried to launch their Kickstarter by insulting Gameverse? No, I haven't heard about this. Hang on. Sorry, TTN Gaming, I'll put you aside for a second. I'm so sorry. This sounds rich. What is this? Chimpoverse. Oh, Chimptopia. Sorry, Chimptopia? Was it Chimptopia? Is that it? Chimptopia. I've not heard this before. What is this? Let's take a look. Wow. What is this? The Charlie Kirk furry? What the fuck is this? Okay, hang on. I'm going to do the Cartoon Cheese video. I'm going to look at that one for this. And react to this.
Street Fighter. Whoa! Trust me, you would not have wanted to watch that pilot anyway.
Well, someone's feeling confident. Chimptopia is the latest indie animated pilot to cause a bit of a stir online. Now, I've always been against dogging on indie pilots even if they turn out bad.
Yeah, indie pilots I always have an issue with attacking because it's indie, you know, it's independently funded. There is an element of ground floor kind of building up a whole show. That's one thing also with stuff like Gameverse. I have not seen Gameverse yet, though I do want to check it out still, the pilot. I think that the Gameverse controversy sounds like it was a show that was about a few years too late. I think is the best way of putting it from what I understand about it. It sounds like the concept would have been a hit in 2019, but it just was too late on it. So, but there is something in poor form, especially in the indie marketplace, trying to put down another show as you're trying to raise money. It's not like you're trying to put down another creator. That's different. If someone does something controversial or inappropriate or bad, that's one thing, you know?
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $5. If I may paraphrase Stephen Hawking from The Simpsons, I wanted to take a look at your Chimptopia. But now I can see it's more of a CHUMP-topia.
Oof. Yeah, Chumptopia? Yeah, exactly. We dog into Andy in a bit. First, we're going to do this one. Have you seen the latest from Metatron? No, I have not seen the latest from Metatron. I haven't watched any Metatron in a little bit for obvious reasons, but let's dig into this.
They're independent productions and nobody is perfect. Most of the time, indie pilots are just a way for a creator to pitch their show to you really quickly. A lack of refinement is expected. But seeing as how Chimptopia took to beating down on Gameverse just to prop itself up, I think I can get away with being a bit mean here.
No, agreed. No, Rubber Ross I like a lot. I like Rubber Ross. Rubber Ross, he's in a lot of good stuff for the YouTuber community. He's done a lot of good stuff for animators. He's been pitching it for years, ever since Monty Ohm passed away. Gameverse, I feel, was perfectly situated to come out alongside Ruby. And I'm not going to lie. Listen, even if it is a little past the point where it would have been peak, I still think it's worth celebrating independent animation, you know? Yeah, Ross has been... Yeah, I've always loved that side of the internet a lot. I love those kinds of... And again, you're coming off of the Newgrounds era. You're coming back from a lot of... What is Ross involved in? Aside from his own VTubing stuff, Ross has been involved with the Game Grumps. He was involved back with Newgrounds. He's been involved... with a lot of stuff over the years. That's why Aaron Hansen's in Gameverse, who I know is a controversial character. And I know everyone has their thoughts on Aaron Hansen, but like, you know, what you can't deny is that a lot of people over the years have enjoyed his stuff. And I think that's worth celebrating. And even someone with that kind of history on YouTube still had a lot of trouble getting this stuff collaborated. Also, don't forget, Rubber Ross, also friendly with Markiplier, apparently. So, there you go. Stopped hitting Aaron in high school. Yeah, I feel like everyone has their phase where they want to, like, punt Aaron Hansen and then get over it and have fun with it. I don't know. Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps. I have no problem with Aaron Hansen. I want to point that right now. I feel like a lot of people are hyperbolic with their hatred of the guy. He just sounds like someone who grew up online, you know? And that's got to be rough, you know? Listen, like even in my limited experience online as a creator, you know, like 3 years online, 2 years online, even that I've been confronted with some weird shit. Like this weekend, I'm going to post, like this Friday, you're going to see me post about some weird stuff. It's going to be crazy. And that's like within a couple years. Aaron Hansen and Ross, too, they grew up on the internet. They were making content since they were like teenagers, like young teenagers on Newgrounds. What does that do to a person having that high a profile for that long? You know, I don't know what it does. It probably messes you up, I would say. Especially starting from Newgrounds and changing over time. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, let's take a look at this some more.
Is the brainchild of Robert Pagliaro. He's most well known for creating artwork for Nick Fuentes and Jack's Toy. I'm just gonna cut
what?
Right to the chase here. You, yes you, pay attention, this will be on the test. If you're an up-and-coming independent artist and you're looking to one day create your own animated pilot and potentially kickstart your own animated series...
Oh, sorry, 1 second.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $4.99. This is clearly a Tex Avery gag during his days at MGM. Anyway, do you think Akko from LWA would get along with Pon Me from TADC?
Yes, I'll go with that. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, okay.
Pay attention, this will be on
we
the
go.
test. If you're an up-and-coming independent artist and you're looking to one day create your own animated pilot and potentially
Yeah, I think they
kickstart
would
your own
actually,
animated
but-
series, let Chimptopia be a guidebook on what not to do. To be blunt, the main reason that everyone got riled up in the first place was the teaser that was posted a couple of days ago, which then got signal boosted by Toonhive and a couple more cartoon accounts on Twitter. Because the best term I can use to describe this teaser is, brain damage. Might sound a bit mean, I know, but frankly I think it takes a miraculous amount of brain damage to write, record, and animate this entire thing without once thinking about the ramifications.
Jesus.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles
terrible.
B6N super chatted $1.99. Why?
Why do I think that? Well, I don't know. This just sounds about right. I'm sorry if I don't have a good answer. I'm not super, like, into, the Amazing Digital Circus, so I know everyone loves it. So that's one reason I made a video on it. Here, I have to finish my first Le Guin book. Oh, you're gonna finish your first Le Guin book? Which one? Sorry, Le Guin's awesome. I love Le Guin. Okay, so, and look, there's nothing wrong with taking shots at other cartoons if there is an established sense of it being okay, right? If you're poking at another indie project to prop yourself up, though, that's poor taste. That's very poor taste, especially if you're doing it by beating the shit out of one of its main characters. It's not like you have Jesus fighting Santa Claus like in South Park back in the day. This is just unethical.
Of your decisions. The main thing that got everyone big mad about this teaser was that it threw a pretty large swing towards Gameaverse for some reason. Gameaverse is the most recent pilot to come from Glitch Productions, created by Ross O'Donovan, or Rubber Ross, as many of you will likely know him as. Gameaverse was being developed for over a decade and is a clear-cut passion project that Ross has clearly sunk a considerable amount of time, care, and love into. And to see that kind of work finally pay off is a feel-good story I'm sure all of us can appreciate.
Yeah,
I
it's really
personally
good.
couldn't get into Gameaverse, it's not really my thing, and I don't have much to say about it, which is why you didn't see a video on it, among other things. But I'm really happy to see Gameaverse succeed, and it's not hard to respect the time, effort, and dedication it took for over 10 years to finally turn this crazy dream into a real thing.
Exactly.
Chimtopia's response to this was to base their entire teaser trailer, the first impression, the most important stepping stone towards pitching your show to people, on completely lambasting Gameaverse. And to say this instantly rubbed people the wrong way is putting it lightly.
And I'll say video game characters with my friends.
Oh, brother.
I'm gonna learn
Another one of these.
There are several things wrong with the execution here. Many did point out that cartoons taking
bad
swings
taste.
at other cartoons is not a new thing. Shows like Mad, Robot Chicken, and The Simpsons
Yeah, that's poor taste. That's bad.
At
That's
Tall
mean.
King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. Ah, the cat girl with the art online.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of the art online. Yeah. The big art. Yes, that
At
one.
Jaking5688 super chatted $2. This Drake levels of starting beef with someone.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. It's not like you're taking an attack. It's not like if you're two creators criticizing each other's work in a way it's constructive or meaningful. This just feels mean. This feels cruel, personally. I don't know. Like, you've already insulted an entire audience. And, like, here's the thing. People often think that if you are putting someone else down, you're going to build yourself up. It's a bullying tactic, right? This is beyond that. This is just unprofessional. And, like, who are you going to... And here's the thing, too. If you're insulting another animator working on a passion project who is well established, has been working at it for years, has a big fan base, what the fuck do you think's gonna happen next? And it's not like you're saying, oh, Rubber Ross did this one thing at this one time and it was bad. You're just making fun of the concept itself and calling it ridiculous. That's
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. I feel Susie would get along with Jax.
Jax is something. But no, like, it's not harmless either. Thank you for super chat, by the way. Thank you for all the super chats, by the way, y'all. I really appreciate that. But no, this is just upsetting. I don't like this. This makes me not want to. I mean, granted, the fact that it's Nick Fuentes' artist already makes me not want it, because Nick Fuentes sucks. But, like, this is terrible.
instantly come to mind. But what makes Chimptopia particularly unlikable is that this is a brand new independent series that's yet to prove itself, and the first impression we get of it is the show deciding to target an actually successful indie production in what feels like an incredibly spiteful and jealous manner. When you see
That's
something
just mean. Yeah, it's not even funny. Like, what's the joke?
At Sokchawa9963 super chatted $9.99. Aaron talked about growing up on Newgrounds before and how people on there made it their mission to just ruin your life.
Yeah.
Can't imagine growing up with that back in 2006, especially as a teenager.
Yeah, no, it's just cruel. Back in the day, it was worse than the internet back then in some ways.
At Tall King
but
Movie
still.
Bubbles B6N
With
super
bullying,
chatted
anyway.
$1.99. And so is Susie, but Jax is worse.
Yeah, Jax is a level of fucked. Is the best way of putting it. But yeah, no, it's just purposefully being cruel, and especially to someone like Ross, who again, very friendly with LGBTQI people, very big with more progressive causes. It's like you look at this and you go, not super big, but like more progressive than like these guys anyway. You kind of go and you're like, okay, so is there a sense of political angle to it? A political bias? That's possible. That's possible. And the thing also is, with a joke that's mean-spirited, it has to be funny, right? It has to, the joke has to be funny. What's the punchline? That you're beating up another show? That you're saying, oh, this show sucks. We're so much better. We're so... Guys, listen. We're good. We're awesome. We kick some ass. What's the point of it?
At Icelung7 super chatted $5. I know animation is expensive, but wanting $500,000 for just 4 episodes of animation like this is insane.
Yeah, that's not cool.
like Mad, Robot Chicken, and The Simpsons take jabs at something, you can usually tell there's at least a fundamental level of respect there, and it's usually just playful ribbing and parody. This is a brand new show, and the first thing it does to try and sell you on it is putting down the work of another indie creator without even telling you what their show is about first. The
Yeah.
depiction of the character Gobbles here also comes off as very mean-spirited and bitter, and following it up with these bland, smug character designs, taking him behind a tree and beating the shit out of him, then turning to the audience and saying, hey, you wouldn't have wanted to watch that pilot anyway, is about as direct as you can
26
get when being
million
incredibly
views.
spiteful towards a specific indie show. It's incredibly poor taste. Not to mention, this teaser is not some original joke they came up with. It's almost one-to-one with an iconic screwy squirrel cartoon that was just Tex Avery playing in Disney's face for about 60 seconds. But the reason it works there was because it wasn't going after anything specific. They drew an original cutesy character to represent what they wanted to mock about Disney, acting as the perfect contrast to the edgier and more zany nature of Tex Avery's cartoons. Sure, it was criticism, but it was a playful and lighthearted jab. The character was also drawn in a style reminiscent of Disney, and they were animated quite lovingly as well, showing that despite Avery being completely opposed to Disney's cutesy and sanitized approach, he still respected the artistry of Disney. Chimptopia completely misses the point of this joke, and uses it as a springboard to single out another.
Also, look at how bland everything is in this shot. Look at this. This is the most boring looking shot. The most color you have is dark green aside from his purple.
At Bernard_CK super chatted $2. This looks like Mr. Burchim with less of a budget.
And less yaoi, sadly.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $4.99. Susie is best girl and Jax doesn't deserve her. Oh, yeah, the age gap between. Now he really doesn't deserve her. She has lot.
Exactly. There you go. There you go.
At Matcherlock9636 super chatted $2. Chimptopia makes me think of a different Bored Ape.
Yeah, the NFTs. Yep. Yeah, this looks like garbage. And look, it's like Family Guy-esque, like Mr. Burcham was. The only color is this purple, and it's not even a vivid purple. Like, it looks just bad. The whole thing looks bad. Yeah, Newgrounds had better animation, 100%. 100%.
At Balthazar228 super chatted $1.99. I've seen way better Og Newgrounds Flash animation.
I don't want to draw this comparison because the show itself is a mess, but when Rick and Morty parodied something, I know, bear with me on this one. At least Rick and Morty had a joke. It was often a dumb joke sometimes, but there was a joke, right? There was some humor. God in heaven, this makes me miss Rick and Morty, which isn't gone, but it feels like it's gone.
Other independent creators' project, all the while having absolutely nothing to show for itself to even justify taking a swing like this.
Yeah.
So, safe to say, this wasn't a very good first impression. It made a lot of people mad, and it also made a lot of people point and laugh at the audacity of it.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $5. G. Lois. This reminds me of the time I met Rubber Ross while he was playing Gartic Phone.
That's like the freaking South Park gag. The manatees in South Park gag with Family Guy's hilarious. Agreed.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $4.99. 2003 animators at least made their characters feel like they're actually in their world rather than pasted on top.
Exactly.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $4.99. Speaking of Avery, did you see the photo with Jim Henson and Chuck Jones?
I have, yeah.
Surprised they didn't do a collab together.
I feel like Jim Henson's style was so different from both Tex Avery and Chuck Jones, that I feel like it would never have worked. And also the thing is, Jim Henson, he was always working. He was working with George Lucas. He was working with, doing Sesame Street, The Muppets, Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, all that. The Storyteller.
At Jaking5688
Fraggle
super
Rock.
chatted $2. Their whole pitch screams edgy white guy humor.
Mm-hmm. It's like high school jokes. High school bad jokes,
At Jess
basically.
ISD3 ad super chatted $2. Oh god, it's a Dorman player.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, right? Anyway, back. Let's do this real
I
quick.
do think indie creators deserve some kind of leeway and a chance to grow when their first impression isn't great, but openly attacking another indie creator's project in such a mean-spirited way was guaranteed to put Chimtopia on everyone's shit list. And this is without even getting into the Kickstarter for the show.
Yeah,
if
what's
the
the story
teaser
of the
trailer
show,
itself
anyway?
wasn't bad enough, the Kickstarter only made things worse by basically confirming that Chimtopia has absolutely no idea what it's doing. For something that tried dog-walking Gamerverse for being
Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's look at this. Chimtopia. Here we go. Let's look at the account, shall we? Oh, super chat.
At MatcherLock9636 super chatted $5. Not even brave enough to show the beating, crude as South Park, huh? If you want to bad taste, don't do so. But if you insist, commit to it.
Exactly.
Cowards.
Let's take a look at this for a second. So, 3 deadbeat friends need to make money to pay next month's rent by any means necessary. Okay, but at no point did anything you show in that pilot illustrate that concept. Let's bring this over a little bit so you can read more clearly. So, Chimtopia is an animated sitcom about 3 20-something-year-old friends who need money so they don't get evicted by their landlord Chimp. Wait a second. That sounds familiar. Where have I heard that before? Wait a second. Hang on. What about the... Hang on. Wait a second. Oh. Hang on. I know what this is. Oh, I get it now. This is just this. This is just conservative this. This is the same thing. It's the same fucking thing, except poorly animated. This had better animation and better designs and better friggin' like more style to it than anything in Chimtopia. Look, here's Chimtopia, and this is Wastelandia. It's Wastelandia. It's just white guy Wastelandia. It's the same concept. 3 people in their mid-20s in an apartment building trying to go through life and get money. And everyone fucking clowned on this show. Unfairly so, I might add. It was not It was just all right. It was very like Tumblr core mid 2010s aesthetic, but still like, so like, it's the same concept, only this had better animation, better character designs. And everyone's like, oh, it's all furry shit, and they all made fun of it. But like, this is the same concept. It's the same concept as Chimtopia, only this looks way better than this shit by a mile. And chat, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong that that's the same concept. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Wastelandia is obviously a passion project. This is not. This is a cheap nonsense. Okay. It's like day and night, only, I'm missing the, it's like, this isn't even good enough to be night. It's Wastelandia for straight people. Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's keep reading this. This pilot follows Robbie Nolan and Waffles. Okay. As they try to get a job at their local fast food joint, where they are tasked with working a minimum wage job. We blend the relatability of Seinfeld, the crudeness of South Park, and the wackiness of Smiling Friends into our show to create something unique in the indie animation space. That's just Clerks. It's just Clerks at this point. You're just remaking Clerks, only without Kevin Smith. It's just right-wing Clerks. So is it Wastelandia or is it Clerks? Make up your mind.
At Itsuboy 562 super chatted $1.25. Maybe missed you say it, but how is it conservative?
Glad you asked that question. This is made by the artist who works for Nick Fuentes. This has Nick Fuentes's, this is like 2 degrees of not 2 degrees. It's 1 degree of association away from Nick Fuentes. It's Nick Fuentes adjacent. So, yeah, there you go. The main animator for this, what's his name? Robert Pagliaro. He is Nick Fuentes' personal artist. So, this is a lot more like Mr. Bertram than you think. In that both are destroying the Daily Wire. This story is a passion project created by a friend group who has too many stories to tell and wants to put it into a format that can live on forever. Many of the sitcoms that exist, we see ourselves in them. Okay. And we think that we can push the relatability a step further. We also think that oh my goodness. Okay, so he's putting down the rest. Okay, here we go. We also think the indie animation space suffers from a severe lack of episodic shows. We have no intentions on an overarching story, and we want any viewer to be able to jump in and immediately understand what the show is about. Each episode will be its own self-contained story. So already in the Kickstarter, you're putting down other indie projects. Interesting choice.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $1.99. I'm shocked Nick actually pays an artist, not AI.
Yeah, right? That's the problem, isn't it? Anyway. Exactly the Wave Runner. Thanks. Yeah, no. So it's not making a show because you have an idea, but because you hate other shows. Yeah, exactly. The advertisement is hating on other shows. The Kickstarter is hating on other shows. This show skews in a much more teen/young adult sense of humor. Okay.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. I would rather watch LWA instead, thank you.
You are not missing out on anything if you do that. Guaranteed. Oh, this is the edgiest edginess ever. The show skews in a much more teen/young adult sense of humor. The characters in this world are hateful and full of spite, a reflection of the terrible parts of society. Our message, however, is not to make the world look bleak, but to show that the stories that can be made despite negativity. That's why you took out the Gamerverse and beat the shit out of it behind a tree. We got Robbie, Aspiration, artist. Vibes. Joyous, optimistic. This is the same guy who's beating the shit out of the fucking... Okay. Hobby, working out. Wow. Sounds really compelling. Likes pasta. Oh, getting really... Hates being dirty and touched. Wow, that sounds extremely boring. A boneheaded, straightforward guy. Don't worry, I never had any doubts he was straight. Nothing is ever that serious to him, but he still knows where to lock in. He is the least smart out of the trio, which isn't really saying much, but his heart is in the right place, and that's what matters. No apostrophe at that's okay. Has a lot of ideas, but once in a while he can pull them off. Even though he is always trying to make everyone happy, if someone really pisses him off, it really pisses him off. Wow, that sounds bland. I know nothing about this person. Nolan, 25 years old. No aspirations. Great. Hot-headed. Likes chatting up women. Likes women. Hates everything else. Wow. How spicy a character. Happens to be a ladies' man. Okay, buddy. Waffles. Ah, look at that wacky character design. Aspiration. He wants to be an engineer. He's nonchalant. Oh, that's a intense character description there. Likes steak. Hates stupidity. Wow. How, wow. How clever this guy is. Along our trio's journey, they will run into many odd, peculiar, and whatever other words you can think of for weird individual. Wow. This is, wow, a lot of money.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. Is that just Quagmire?
Yeah, basically. Just Quagmire.
At the Wyverner super chatted $2. No one can top the true hater Dan from Dan vs.
Yeah, seriously. Jesus Christ, this looks terrible.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. Likes women, hates everything else. Wow, what a 10.
Yeah, what a crazy character. So let me break this down for you for a second. So this is what we know so far. It features 3 guys. They're boring as fuck. And nothing and there's no plot.
At Balthazar 228
Okay.
super chatted $1.99. Squidward voice. Daring today, aren't we?
Daring today, aren't we? Yeah. So this is a piece of shit, is what I'm hearing. Okay, this is garbage. There's nothing to this. Okay, cool.
Filled with game references and being uninspired, I find it incredibly funny that Chimptopia wants to be an adult animated sitcom about 3 friends trying to make ends meet, and that the show also looks like this.
Oh, brother!
Like what, did your show get rejected by Fox or something? What exactly is so irreverent or original about this that you thought it would be fine to take shots at Gameverse of all things? We blend the relatability of Seinfeld, the crudeness of South Park, and the wackiness of Smiling Friends into our show to create something unique in the indie animated space.
I don't much like the tone of your voice.
Yeah, fuck you, Gameverse, you unoriginal little chud. Behold, as we pitch our show by directly comparing it to the works of people infinitely more talented than us, as opposed to, you know, actually giving you reasons to care. This description has absolutely rancid vibes. I can't remember the last thing that said it was inspired by South Park that actually captured what makes South Park good. I'd say to be careful when throwing stones in your glass house, but that would imply there was a house to begin with. Fundamentally, there are so many issues to be found in this Kickstarter. The show wants to be distinct, yet the premise is so overdone you'd mistake this for a cancelled Fox show. It wants to be episodic, because there's apparently a big lack of indie shows with an episodic format, completely ignoring the many indie shows out there with an episodic format. All of the character designs are uninspired and completely fail to reflect their descriptions. Robbie is meant to be a joyous optimist, so let's give him a constant resting bitch face and have—
Yeah, nothing about that looks joyous. This is the joyous character? Like, he looks stupid as shit. Okay, this sounds like garbage, and I'm glad it's fucking getting clowned on. Fuck this show. Okay. Let's move to the second order of business, which is this jump scare of Chippy reviews.
At Olivia _Williams _purple _fairy super chatted $5. Those characters' concepts are so bland and boring, a gray hoodie and loose pants.
Yeah, basically.
How original.
I know, how exactly. I never heard of the show Get Fatter Now. That's a weird name, but like, if it's good, it's good. I'll take a look at it later. That's a weird show. South Park. Yeah, no. The thing with South Park is it's such a difficult show. Okay, so the thing with South Park that's so clever is that South Park, at least, there is a strong sense of storytelling with South Park, right? South Park is deeply, deeply funny, but it also has a strong sense of character writing, plotting, and one thing I think is so good about it is that it tends to focus on very tightly written, very witty stuff. And while South Park isn't always good, it's sometimes hit or miss. When it is good, it's cutting satire. My big problem is it fence sits a lot, but personally. Yeah, it only takes 7 days to make an episode. Yeah, exactly. It is efficient storytelling, exactly. They don't always stick landings. When they do hit those landings, they hit very well. So, let's look at this real quick. Basically, I'm going to trust TTPN Games for this one.
This is a form of debate with rules and decorum. Like, is there a reasonable expectation of, like, you know, if I say, hey, that was me, you're not going to blow up my house? Yes. What are you, Israel?
Okay, you know what? I can't look at Chippy's face that long, even if it is on.
At Matthew Langevin 7770 super chatted $5. The creator did an apology where he animated himself getting lynched.
How original! How original! Yeah, TTPN was in chat before. He's a cool dude. Like him. He's a good guy. His coverage of the situation is really good. Point is that essentially, Chippy Reviews got into a fight with the VTuber Demi. And it was just a whole thing. I may not continue with this one, only because I feel like after Chimptopia, the Chippy stuff sounds lame by comparison. So, sorry Chippy, you got off the hook. Let's talk AndyPants Gaming.
At SM Jida super chatted $4.99. This show reminds me of those Tumblr animated pilot pitches from the early 2010s that got out of hand.
Exactly. It's pretty bad. I would even say Tumblr. Tumblr at least had some talent. Tumblr was at least good. You know, Tumblr had some decent stuff there. This is just bad. Like, really bad. Like, there's nothing good about it. It's irredeemably bad. It's just terrible. Just garbage. I don't like it. Anyway, let's talk a look at AndyPants Gaming. Now, ranking all the gay slop? She streamed? Jesus Christ. Oh, man, what is AndyPants Gaming? Oh, man, 60,000 views. 60,000 views. I'm not watching this, but, like, Jesus. Damn, for a stream. Who the fuck showed up to that stream? Let's take a listen.
All right, boys, this was the original God of War. You have AIDS, and then you're on Reddit, and then you're in a biracial trans land acknowledgement, and then the top is Weekend at Diddy's. So these are all the games.
Wait, what the fuck? Hang on, what are these categories?
Oh, you're different.
You're a cube. Talking. You know what? It doesn't matter. How do we get out of here?
He's in
So bad, dude.
I'm not the sword. I'm the ribbons on the sword. Like,
okay, so the categories are based, camo shorts, nothing straighter than looking at a man's shorts, I guess. Going to counseling, or that like fucking Well, it was a conversion camp. What are you talking about? AIDS, Reddit, biracial trans land acknowledgement, and weekends at Diddy's. Those are your categories. You're just playing the fucking footage from God of War here. It's nothing. Yeah, this guy is in his 40s, by the way. This man is in his 40s. He has a wife, I think, and a child, but like, Jesus Christ.
Well, I want to hear what for those of y'all who saw the trailer, what did you think of this?
Uninspiring.
Yeah, it just feels like so.
I'm skipping around because I want to waste an hour and a half on this shit. But why are you going back to fucking God of War? Get back to fucking tier list, dude. Playing trailers. Okay, what's your list at right now? Let's take a look at this. Okay. So so you put Gears of War low. Okay. The Witcher 4 you think is Reddit. Lofty and Fable is okay. Odd.
At Tall King Movie Bubbles B6N super chatted $1.99. He better not put I'm in love with the villainous.
Oh, you know, I love that series. Actually, I had it in a shoot recently, and I realized in the background, I had it there. It's fun times. I just want to see his final results here. I don't really care about the rest of the stream. Blood of the Dawnwalker. Okay, what we got here?
What?
Senua is apparently the worst one. Okay. Halo? God. What a wimp.
At Icelung7 super chatted $2. Andy absolutely reeks of try-hard insecurity.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Alien Isolation 2. You put that high. Even fucking Stellar Blade is too gay for him. Wow. Final Fantasy is that? You fucking asshole.
At O0Ojolono00 super chatted $5. Snowbrick's response video also included a lot of jokes about Andy's wife leaving him and taking the kid.
Seriously. Jesus Christ. Okay, so apparently the Stranger Than Heaven, the game that takes Tupac's likeness from after the estate that does not involve Tupac's family.
At Racer45 super chatted $2.
Is based.
Somebody show AndyPants Metacritic.
Yes, he doesn't fucking care about Metacritic. Like what even is this? Like these are like State of Decay 3. Okay. Cross of Ire, whatever. The Wolf Among Us, whatever it is. Yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, this is dumb. This is really, really fucking stupid. I think the most
multiplayer.
I think the most homoerotic thing you can possibly. Yeah, that's not true. I'm not gonna make a gay joke about this. AndyPants does not deserve the gay jokes, but still, 60,000 views in 7 days. He's doing something to get attention. Yeah, also, the fact that Final Fantasy VII, a game that is particularly homoerotic, is that low, just tells me that AndyPants has no idea what makes a game gay. At all. Oh, but Resident Evil, Veronica is apparently
At
based.
MAlvarado_EQ super chatted $2.82. There are rumors that Xbox might close the studio making Senua, which would suck.
Yeah, that would suck. Xbox is doing a lot of that. They closed Ninja.
At 000 Agent
Team
88
Ninja.
super chatted $5.
Which is awful.
He hated Senua the most? He
Yes.
must be very happy about recent news.
Yeah, it seems that way.
At Ermanita Rules super chatted $1.99. This list reminds me of the woke gaming list.
It really is just the same thing. It's just AndyPants' own insecurities. And listen, I'm not, as much as I want to listen to an hour and a half of AndyPants Gaming talk about how games are gay, I don't have it in my soul to endure that. So we're not going to, all right? Yeah, this is just bad. Yeah, this is embarrassing for this guy. But he got 60K views, so I guess he's doing something right. Who knows? The Save Scum podcast can barely get over 5,000 views after a whole fucking day. It can barely get over. It can't get over 7,000 after 2 weeks almost. Jesus Christ. I also find it funny. Apparently, he wants the 2000s back, but like he chose Final Fantasy X as its emblem of representation. So apparently, Final Fantasy X is a bastion of masculinity. Final Fantasy X, the manliest of manly games, of course. Let's bring it up for a second. Final Fantasy X. Let's look at the bastion of masculinity right here. 1 second.
Come on, show me.
Bastion of masculinity.
You probably shouldn't laugh anymore.
The manliest of all manly games. Of course, I need to see this. I'm sorry. I need to see this.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $1.99. AndyPants Final Fantasy X 2D, straight rolling on the floor laughing.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to pause supers after these. I'm going to let these play real quick. Then I'll pause.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. Ant, is it true that you inhale gabagool by the carton?
Listen, I want to talk about the waste management company.
At Racer45 super chatted $10. I don't think AndyPants knows that games like Big Rigs and Drake of the 99 Dragons exist. Fun fact, he also defends Ride to Hell. Retribution, despite it being one of the worst games ever made.
He defends Ride to Hell Retribution? How? How? That's not just slop. That's like actual dog dung. Ride to Hell? Jesus Christ. Anyway. Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball. Fun game. I will advocate for Dead or Alive. That's a fun game series. Okay. I put super chats on pause. Do not hesitate to leave them. I will absolutely answer them once I get the chance to. But for right now, I kind of want to check this out. Because quite frankly, this seems absolutely batshit crazy, and I think it's worth discussing.
Here's a question we've all been haunted by as we tried to fall asleep at night. Why have video game budgets and graphical fidelity skyrocketed the past 20 years?
Hang on. So apparently, Metal Gear Solid cost $8 million. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas cost $10 million. And Concord cost $200 million. Let's take a little budget for that. Concord game budget. Concord's initial... Okay, hang on. Concord's initial game budget was $200 million, but wound up costing Sony so much more. It was not enough to fund its entire development. All points being seen as an ambitious project that was expected to attract a large audience, Dev launched to tepid reviews and low interest, prompting PlayStation to pull the plug within days of its release. That's sad. That's really sad. The game sucks, though. I will say that. Concord's not good. It was an extremely long development cycle. And I think the problem with Concord is that it's just... It was a product of corporate meddling, I think. Game budgets are out of control. Absolutely. Last of Us made its money back, though. The problem is that games are too expensive to make, and they take too long to make, and they are not productive. they're not enjoyable. There's more of a focus on, even though, we have reached a point where graphics are no longer like a factor. We are past that point. And people can make independent games with low budgets that are more successful. But AAA games, the solution always is pour money on it. Now fix it. But Concord, the thing is, Concord strikes me as a game that exists entirely because of committee, right? The character designs are safe. They're safe diverse. What I mean by that is this. There's two types of diverse, right? There's unsafe diverse and there's safe diverse. Safe diverse is corporate tested. It's the Disney model, right? We have characters who are cookie cutter, just different enough to draw attention to it, but not too different. Not to rock the boat. That's corporate diverse. And then you get stuff made by people who are not part of the mainstream. Who here has seen The People's Joker? Chat, type 1 if you've seen People's Joker. Who's seen People's Joker? Type 2 if you have not seen The People's Joker. And like the stream either way. You know what? Let me make a poll real quick. Instead of doing that, let me make a poll. Have you seen The People's Joker? Yes or no? Vote now with your money. Or with your clicks, I guess. People's Joker's great. People's Joker's a wild movie. I just watched it again a few weeks ago. What an unhinged film. Really reckless filmmaking. So those who don't know, it's a trans creator, trans director, trans main actor, trans writer, who wrote basically a Batman parody film outlining her gender journey, right? Her journey to gender identity. Very, very low budget. Very clearly low budget. Very corny. Maybe a little cringe on purpose sometimes, but absolutely great. It's a real achievement in terms of parody storytelling. Very strange in many ways, but it's off-putting. It's very off-putting, deliberately so. Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend had a very good movie. Yeah, exactly. Another example of more dangerous. I also think a lot about John Waters. John Waters is very, granted, a lot of not a lot of racial diversity, but, very diverse for its time. Very controversial. Ran up against a lot of standards of good taste. Yeah. So, I'm going to stop and pull. It's good. All I can tell is a lot of you all need to watch People's Joker. It's very good. Very underrated film. But yeah, so the problem is Concord is too safe for its own good. It's way too safe, way too accessible, not very good, quite frankly. All right, let's keep going.
While games themselves have gotten objectively worse. At age 43, people tell me, you're just nostalgic. But then I see 20-year-olds preferring games from the 2000s to modern slop as well. Doesn't that pretty much prove these games were objectively better?
Anecdotal evidence, not really. But that being said, though, the games from the past are better in some ways for very different reasons. The problem is a lot of the AAA companies are circling the drain to go back to nostalgia for information. Now, as a 43-year-old man, you are A, almost 10 years older than I am, but B, demonstrating your immaturity in this one. A lot of people who are younger than you do not know about these older games because they did not grow up with them, and there's not the same retro gaming market like there was when we were growing up. But yet, no, you're also being nostalgic. You're being very nostalgic. And I'll tell you this right now, because while new games are not always great, in the 2000s, people will complain about old games too the same way, I'm not 33, I'm 34, actually. So there you go. But the point is, it's like we were back in then complaining about new games. So it never changes. It's always the stuff that's coming out now you don't like. And then in 5 years from now, you're like, oh, it's so nostalgic. It's so good. It's so amazing. This and the other. Unless you're AndyPants Gaming, who after the year 2014, I guess, games went downhill because you're an Xbox shill. That's what you were before, right? An Xbox shill. So there you go. All right. So I do this right away. Go in the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I can play a little music real fast. It'll take like about 5 minutes. Give me a few minutes. I'll be right back with you. Otherwise, this would be a very difficult streaming fun feel. Right back, y'all. Real quick. Like the stream. Right back. I'm back. Yeah, sorry for the slight delay. There we go. Let me fix this real quick. I'm back. Sorry about that so much. I had to, unfortunately, I had about 3 pots of coffee today, so I can't exactly hold my bowels together. I'll let some super chats play real quick if any came.
At Wing of Shoe super chatted $5. I wouldn't mind lesser graphics like PS3 era for faster, less glitchy and easier to make games. I don't need to smell the sweat on a Charis nose.
Agreed. What's the meme? It's yeah. What's the meme? It's like right here, and I agree with it. You know. Where's the images? Here we go. Yeah. Oh, it's not loading. Here we go. Open image, new tab. Here you go, right here. Here's the meme. I want shorter games with worse graphics. Maybe people who are paid more to work less. And I'm not kidding. And yeah, I agree with that. 100%. 100% agree with this. Yeah, AndyPants, so far I'm on your side. And look, I have issues with The Last of Us 2 also. They're just not the same issues you have with them. You know what I mean? It's like here's the thing. In theory, I don't disagree with his chart. It is weird that there's so many overpriced games that are made for corporate slop that have these issues with it on a thematic level. AndyPants, controversial hot take. Maybe I'm on your side. You know, listen, AndyPants. You have me. Listen. I may think you're crazy and out of your mind and an absolute nutcase, but maybe you're right. Maybe we do have an issue with moving away in the 2000s. AndyPants, show me the way. Tell me what it is I'm supposed to feel as a man. Inform me. Tell me the truth, AndyPants, with your liturgy of knowledge of nostalgic gaming past. Maybe we can bridge this gap between political factions to find some common ground. Or are you going to ruin it by saying it was less gay back then? It's probably going to be that one, isn't it? Somehow, I don't think he's going to have the same anti-corporate mentality that I have. But who knows? Maybe he also agrees the problem is that the employees who make these games are being tormented by corporate overlords that pay them less to do more. But somehow, I don't think AndyPants is going to indicate that. Somehow, I don't think AndyPants' critique is the corporate structure that causes all pain. Call me crazy. You'd be right. But somehow I don't think that this is going to be an anti-corporate message from AndyPants.
Classics like Metal Gear Solid 3, Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy X, San Andreas, and God of War put modern slop to shame.
Well, Final Fantasy X. Listen, I like Final Fantasy X. It's a great game. But better than Final Fantasy 14? Would you say? Okay, let me be honest. Chat. Let me ask you this right now, chat. Which is better? Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy 14? I know. Tough options. Tough options. Chat, let me know. 10, 14. A lot of 10 fans here. Wow. There we go. 14's winning again. That's good. Let's go. Let that play for a little bit.
But if games from the 2000s had less pixels, less hardware, less gigabytes, how could they possibly be better?
Because gaming power isn't... What do you mean, how can it be better? Also... Okay, here's the problem with that. Let me give you a comparison. When films have restrictions, they're better sometimes because restrictions force creatives to think in innovative ways. The Shark in Jaws never worked. The Shark in Jaws 4 always worked. One had a higher budget than the other, and that's Jaws for Revenge. Jaws 4. Jaws the original is better. Games that have limitations often have to find creative workarounds to work around those issues. And let's also be fair, limited hardware can be a problem sometimes. Case in point, the original Pokemon games. As much as I love the Kanto region, as much as I love Gen 1 Pokemon, those games are very fucking glitchy. There's a lot of problems with those games. They're being held together by paper clips, basically. Graphical fidelity is no longer a problem. Also, AndyPants' 2000 description, pixels. I mean, listen. We're talking about polygons now. We're past pixels. This is polygons. And also, let's be fair, fewer games are being made now in many ways. Like, there are more games than ever with the independent sphere and all of that, but like, the AAA developers, they're fewer and fewer, and they're making less and less in many ways.
This is the question I want to explore in this video, and I think it begins with understanding 2000s culture.
Hang on a second. No. You did not fucking put... You didn't put fucking Nickelback as a highlight of 2000s culture, did you? Nickelback? Nickelback? Buddy, are you suggesting Nickelback is the peak of our human culture? Nickelback? No. You can't be serious. You can't fucking... Of all the 2000s bands, Nickelback. You could have done Disturbed. You could have done Korn. You could have done Deftones. You could have done... Oh, crap. I'm blanking the name. I was just listening to the other... Just before, radio... Aerials in the sky. Da, 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 da. Fuck. System of a Down. There we go. Thank you. I was drawing a blank on System of a Down's name. Thank you. Linkin Park, also a good example of 90s culture. Limp Bizkit, sure, but let's not do that. Yeah, System of a Down. Thank you. Yeah. I was just listening to that song the other day on my freaking on Spotify. Yeah, Linkin Park would have been better as an option. Evanescence. Well, he would never choose Evanescence. I don't think he was. I'll be honest with you. I don't think AndyPants would ever listen to anything made by a woman, even Evanescence. Yeah, System of a Down is probably much better than a lot of them. Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance. Yeah, exactly. Listen, if you like Nickelback, that's fine. But like, in the hierarchy of music, and look, listen, I bet he likes Creed too, guys. I bet he enjoyed Creed as well. I think Rage Against the Machines in the 90s. Well, the 90s and 2000s overlapped, I think, a lot. Keep in mind, I was like a child in the 90s. When I listened to Rage Against the Machine, it was in the 2000s because I was too young to listen to it otherwise. Do you want to know who's really 2000s era music that I would hear all the time? Avril Lavigne. If your 90s playlist does not have Avril Lavigne or oh crap, Misery Business. Name of the band. Redhead. Misery Business. Oh, crud. I'm drawing a blank in my old age. Yeah, R.I.P. Chester Bennington, yeah. Paramore. Thank you. Yeah. Paramore. If your 2000s playlist does not include Paramore, then you're in the wrong space. Not gonna lie. Yeah, Avril Lavigne is also Natasha Bedingfield, another 2000s icon. I feel like I haven't really heard about it in a while. Don't tell me she's like pro-Israel now, because that would suck. Does this mean mixtape is in the wrong space? Maybe. I don't know. Gorillaz. Thank you. Yeah, Gorillaz. Daft Punk also. Eminem was more 90s. Tupac more 90s. Yeah, even Kanye West was really big in the 2000s. Pink. Freaking Pink. My spouse loves Pink. She loves Pink so much. I'm just going off memories now. 2000s bands. Slipknot. Yeah, Slipknot was everywhere. Green Day. Oh yeah, I forgot about Green Day. They were all over the place. The Strokes. Panic at the Disco. Yeah, they were big also. Oh God. Okay. Rammstein, you're saying. Okay. Let me ask a question here. Which brings me to another band too. Does anyone remember there was that one remix Rammstein album that mixed up Rammstein with Tattoo? You know what I'm talking about? There was like the remix album where they took Rammstein songs and they crossed over with TATU or Tattoo, however you say it. And it was like a weird mix of songs that I don't think it was a legal remix. I think it was like an illegal remix. It was all over the place. And AMVs use this the song combinations all the time. I remember seeing there was one AMV back in the 2000s. Okay, AMV is another part of 2000s culture. Where they had the one Rammstein TATU song crossed with I think it was like Evangelion. Remember that being like when I was just getting Evangelion, found an OVA, and I was like, oh, it's fucking awesome. I love this. There we go. Sacrifice, yeah. TAT was a weird band. That's a weird history right there. 3 Days Grace, of course. Nah, 3 Days Grace isn't too niche. When did Avenged Sevenfold come in? Was Avenged Sevenfold, was that 2010s or 2000s? I forget. Muse, yeah. It's a lot of good 90s, 2000s bands. Bullet for My Valentine, yeah. Daughtry, yeah. Actually, all the American Idol runner-ups were the big names back then. Man, 2000 Days Grace, yeah. Gwen Stefani, yeah. I forgot about Gwen Stefani. Yeah. Yeah, no. Creed. Avengers 2000s, good. Kelly Clarkson. Yeah, Kelly Clarkson has some good hits. Not gonna lie. Okay, listen. Jared Leto's crazy, but 30 Seconds to Mars had some good songs. I'll give him that. That's the only thing I'll give him. Oh, Engel. Yeah, there we go. And of course, if you really played ball, the real 2000s icon, Utada Hikaru. If you played ball, you know what I'm talking about. There you go. Audio Slave. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Godsmack. Yeah. The contrary to TATU. So TATU, or Tattoo, let me say it, was a Russian band. There's 2 lead singers, and all the marketing presented them as lesbians. They were not, in fact, lesbians, though, which is crazy. Anyway, back to this. Also, wasn't Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, was that 90s? That was the Spider-Man one, right? That was... No, 2000s exactly. Okay, I don't like 2000s culture, but okay.
If I had to sum up the 2000s
God,
in one
Creed?
phrase, it would be...
Really? Creed and Nickelback. That's your go-to for 2000s. We, in chat, came up with a fucking 100 other bands, all of which were much better than Creed and Nickelback. I'm sorry. Also, Within Temptations. Within Temptations, really good. There you go. And I was always like a Nightwish fan too. Was Camelot 2000s? Was that 90s? Yeah. This chud would listen to Creed, Nickelback and have that be the peak 90s music as opposed to 2000s music as opposed to like anything else. Was Camelot 90s or 2000s? I always forget. I like Camelot. Camelot's fun. I still listen to Camelot. Nightwish I listen to all the time. I love Nightwish. Both singer... Oh, well, not both. There's like, I think 3 now, I think. Yeah, exactly. Love Nightwish. Anyway, Simple Plan, yeah. Rise Against, yeah. There's a lot of them. A lot of good bands.
Fuck your feelings. The 2000s was literally the opposite of our safe, overly sensitive 2025 culture today.
Hey, wait a second. AndyPants, let me ask a question real quick. Hypothetical speaking, about the 2000s. I'm gonna let the poll end. Looks like Final Fantasy. It's split down the middle. What was the one trilogy of movies that ends with multiple grown men crying and saying and apologizing to each other and talking about how much love they have for each other? What was that one franchise? It was a trilogy. It ends with like, there's a guy and he's talking to another guy and one guy says he made a mistake. And the other guy says, I forgive you. And he goes to his best friend and kind of bros it out with his best friend as he lays dying. What was that franchise? It was a trilogy of movies. I don't know what it was. What was it? Can you name the movie I'm thinking of where it ends with 3 guys and a girl on top of a roof after an alien gets blown up by a pumpkin-shaped bomb? I'll come to me eventually. I'm sure I won't. I'm sure it's nothing important. Nothing major. It ends with a bunch of men crying it out and hugging and all that good stuff. Nothing like that. I can't imagine what it was. But yeah, no, the 2000s were the fuck your feelings year, right? That was what it was? Yeah, I thought so. What was that other trilogy where it's like, it's like a bunch of guys, they go on a road trip together, walking a lot. And it ends with like, the 2 men, they're carrying each other up a mountain. And they all wake up in bed, and all the guys jump on the bed with him as they're all laughing and holding each other and being all emotional. What was that other trilogy from the 2000s? I remember it so vividly. Oh, it'll come to me eventually. Something about a ring. I don't know what it was. Probably a mystery. I'm sure it wasn't a big deal in the 2000s at all. Strange. It's probably nothing important. What was the other thing in the 90s too? It was this popular series that it was in Japan first, came over to America. And it was the one where they have the group of friends who adventure together and he's on a pirate ship, I think it was. There was nothing important emotional about that series. So one guy he's a very flexible kind of guy, really stretches himself far. Who was this guy? What was a series that was popular in the 2000s and is in fact still going on to this very day and started before the 2000s? Oh, what was it called? Oh, I'm sure it's nothing important at all because AndyPants didn't mention them in his retrospect of the 2000s, which means they probably weren't popular. Not in the least. But please, AndyPants, tell me about how all this stuff is... Actually, you know what's funny? What's very funny... There's this one game series, it's nothing obscure thing. You probably never heard of it. It's a game series about this guy, right? He's a guy. He's a clone, actually, rapidly aging clone. And no, I'm not. That's not it. That's the end of the game. I'm going to talk about the third entry of that series. It ends with like this emotional, feelingly. It's a very emotional moment where the naked snake has to. Oh, I spoiled it by accident. Has to shoot his mentor boss. And it's a very emotional sequence, and it drives the entire action from his point onward. What's that song called? I don't remember what it was. It's mystery. I'm sure it's something important. Or that one of the game where it ends with like this emotional scene where the main character realizes he's a dream created, essentially, and has to disappear at the end. What was it fucking called? I don't know. And there's a scene where he has to hug his father who abused him, but he has like a rough relationship with, who's also the villain of the game. I can't remember what it was called, though. Oh, so strange. Find nothing important. And of course, there was that one game, one of the most popular games in 2000s. It was this game about, and you're gonna laugh at this. It sounds so silly. There were three friends, and they get divided across various worlds. And they have to go to Disney places. They have to go to Disney worlds, and they have a big key. And one of the core moments is when the friends are reunited and they start crying because they're so happy to be near each other, and they're all holding hands. And Mickey Mouse is there, and Donald and Goofy. I'm sure it's nothing valuable at all from the 2000s. But no, the 2000s really were the fuck your feelings world. Oh, and then there's that big blockbuster that came out. You probably heard of it. And there's a whole thing with this guy. He's too into his job and can't be with the girl he loves. And one of the key moments of the movie is when she dies and he's just crying alone and resolves to protect this other guy from feelings because he thinks that the girl's going to end up with him. But really, she was going to end up with the guy he's trying to protect. And his butler burns a letter to protect him from the emotional pain of realizing the love of his life wasn't going to be with him anymore because he couldn't get over his job. What was that called? It's probably nothing important. Probably wasn't important in the 2000s either. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Yeah, the fuck your feelings years. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, man.
Fear Factor threw people into pits of snakes. Jackass had people getting gored by bulls and firing bottle rockets out of their buttholes. American Idol had Simon Cowell tearing people apart on stage. Gordon...
Did you stop watching American Idol after the first couple of episodes? Strange.
Ramsay was putting bread on fat women's heads and called...
On fat women's heads? Wait, what?
Gordon Ramsay was putting bread on fat...
Fat? What? I'm sorry, I think it is 404 there for a second. Hang on. Things getting heavy here. Okay, hang on. I think I'm just dehydrating. It must be what it is. In what fucking world is she fat? In what fucking world are you talking about, you dumb fucking person? Jesus Christ. Hell, let me be honest. Did you even watch Kitchen Nightmares? I mean, this is Hell's Kitchen, yes, but AndyPants, did you watch Kitchen Nightmares? Because each episode ends with Gordon Ramsay emotionally trying to connect with the people who are stressed out, trying to bring families together. Did you actually watch these shows? Because American Idol was mostly about the emotional journey. It wasn't just about Gordon Ramsay. About, crud. Yeah, it wasn't about making fun of the singers. It was about success and the emotional journey therein. And also stolen valor. That's a thing people forget too. There was the guy who did the stolen valor. But Gordon Ramsay was about the being hypercritical, but also he's critical, but to get the best results. And he's more critical with the more professional they are, because he values the product causing the customer pain. Simon Cowell, thank you. I'm blanking Simon Cowell's name again. So, like, I mean, Kitchen Nightmares especially, like, those episodes usually end with a broken family coming together in an emotionally satisfying way. Unless you're Amy's Bakery, or whatever it was, the Amy's Bakery one. That's his batshit.
Women's heads and calling them idiot sandwiches. Tropic Thunder had Ben Stiller making fun of retards and Robert Downey Jr. in blackface saying,
For 400 years, that word has kept us down.
Damon and Marley.
AndyPants, did you actually watch Tropic Thunder? Did you actually, like, understand what they're making fun of? Because the joke is that Ben Stiller was playing a mentally handicapped character. And it was bad that he was doing it because he was playing a caricature. Jesus Christ, he doesn't expect the satire. Let's super chat play real quick, some are piling up.
At Racerk45 super chatted $5. At this point, I want to see more people try to debate AndyPants on his BS.
That would be very, very difficult to do. He won't do
At
another debate after Ackman.
Soapchawa9963 super chatted $4.99. I still think saying worse graphics is a bit detrimental.
Yeah.
It's not worse, it's just lower poly resolution. Art direction, design is the real strength.
There are a lot of old games that look fantastic because they have better art direction. Yeah, agreed.
At Olivia_Williams_purple_fairy super chatted
Go, creative, go.
$7.15. I will point out we tend to idealize older games. People like to say before the internet could deliver patches, games were shipped finished and bug-free. They weren't. There was a lot of bad buggy games.
Yeah, but they couldn't fix it in post afterwards. That's the thing. So they had to make sure it was good on launch or else.
At Eustace Giwo super chatted $5. No one is impressed with graphical fidelity anymore.
Agreed.
Style, compelling content, and gameplay is what really counts.
Yeah.
Hence Elden Ring's success.
Elden Ring is massively successful. Far lower budget than some of the AAA games, though. Yeah,
At
agreed.
Kill Mickey Mouse super chatted $5. Restrictions get you Highlander. The removal of restrictions gets you Highlander too.
As well as just bad ideas getting a budget, you know? Someone says okay and they don't
At
think
Nick Wolf
about it.
3885 super chatted $5. Love that game lineup because it implies that AndyPants thinks the Over the Hedge tie-in game is an underrated gem.
Jesus, yeah.
Wonder how woke he thinks it is though.
Probably very. I've seen Pillar of Garbage talk about Over the Hedge.
At Sufa K
God, that
Touch
movie.
4869 super chatted $4.99. Speaking of Concord's character designs, I love Deadlock's character design and world they live in. Even better than Overwatch emo.
You know, I don't know if I agree with you, but I respect you feel passionately about it.
At Barney Nedward super chatted $4.99. Well, he is clearly pants at games, so at least his name rings true.
That's true, it does. In that sense.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $1.99. Spice Girls.
Spice Girls. Oh yeah, Spice World especially. Yeah.
At Nick Wolf
What a movie.
3885 super chatted $2. I member an Oscar AMV set to Rammstein's Angel.
There were a few of those I saw. I might have seen the same one.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. And are we forgetting peak 2000s icon Cascada?
Oh God, yeah, we were. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's
At
peak
Olivia
2000s, yeah.
Williams_purple_fairy super chatted $3.57. About Tattoo, it's sad that Yulia turned pretty homophobic. Lana is supportive of LGBTQ people through.
I'm glad at least one of them is, because I always hear about Yulia being a fucking homophobe.
At super
That
chatted
sucks.
$9.99. I look back at the 2000s fondly because that was my childhood, but at this rate seeing certain millennials boast about the 2000s is starting to sound like when aging Gen Xers boast about the 80s.
Yeah, listen, every generation sucks. Every year sucks. There's always a problem. Deal with it.
At
It's
Balthazar
life, you know?
228
There's good things,
super
but it's shit,
chatted
too.
$4.99, to be fair. I was happy when the dream disappeared. I felt more for Yuna than I ever did Meg Ryan in that game.
That's fair. That's fair. Absolutely fair. I feel so bad for in all the games.
At the Waverner
Ten
super
too,
chatted
also.
$2. I miss when we bullied people for their looks.
Yeah, right? He's one to bully people for their looks. And he doesn't want to be told back he sucks, you know?
At Kippy Ace Artist super chatted $5. Unrelated fun, and cursed. Fact. My cousin is Amy from the Amy's Baking Company
Oh
episodes
my
of Kitchen
god!
Nightmares.
You poor soul. I'm sorry. It's cursed. Oh, man. My condolences, but
At
wow,
SM
that's rough.
Jida super chatted $4.99. Idiot sandwich is not a real Gordon Ramsay moment. It's a James Corden sketch from the mid-2010s.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's a fake fan, so there you go.
At O0Ojolono00 super chatted $1.99. I think Andy is the real idiot sandwich.
I think the real idiot sandwich are the friends we made along the way, personally.
At Racerk45 super chatted $2.
Pause, super
I had
chat
just made a comment on this video.
That's wild. That's funny. I love that. Yeah, no. I think the real idiot sandwiches were the friends we made along the way. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. It's a long day. Anyway, let's get back to this. White Chicks. White Chicks had a comeback. Scary Movie 6 just came out. There's a White Chicks gag in that. I haven't seen the movie, though. I just been... TikTok fucking posted the whole movie in shorts, so I'm like, oh, I'll just fucking watch it on TikTok. All the awful, heinous jokes just pop up my feed.
Marlon Wayans made fun of white chicks. Nicolas Cage dominated the box office. 2000s culture did not give an F. We pretty much peaked as a society.
Wait, that last one's weird. Nicolas Cage dominated the box office. Did he? How much did National Treasure gross? Yeah, National Treasure got, all right, $806 million. Okay. Top grossing movies of the 2000s. I just find it strange how, like, that's the one he goes for. Okay, I have here the top grossing films of the 2000s, right? So Nicolas Cage is an odd one to select, because if you really want to go for the movie that's the most successful in 2000s, you got a few options, right? So you got Avatar, The Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Dark Knight, Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Shrek 2, Harry Potter, Spider-Man 3, Ice Age, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Finding Nemo, which I'm definitely not a non-emotional film, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Wow, Star Wars is that low. You know, I knew Star Wars was lower than like some of these, but wow, Star Wars was really low compared to everything else that year, that decade. Below Finding Nemo. Wow, okay. Transformers 2, Jesus Christ. Okay, maybe they are some good things we left in the 2000s. The Transformers Michael Bay films are one of them. Spider-Man the original, Shrek the Third, Harry Potter, Indiana Jones and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, still higher than National Treasure, by the way. Spider-Man 2, Da Vinci Code. God, Da Vinci Code. That was another one. Chronicles of Narnia, that high. Wow, okay. Matrix Reloaded, 2012, Transformers Up, Twilight Saga. Yeah, so here's the thing, too. You say the 2000s were the peak fuck your feelings era when Twilight dominated the entire subculture. Make it make sense. Ice Age, The Meltdown, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars 2, Kung Fu Panda, The Incredibles, Hancock, still higher than National Treasure. National Treasure isn't even in the top 100, top 50. What the fuck are you talking about? Nicolas Cage dominated the box office. He's not in any of these fucking films. And I love Nicolas Cage, but like, Jesus Christ, Twilight trumped him. Ice Age, The Meltdown trumped National Treasure. But you're like, no, Nicolas Cage, National Treasure, best movie. Didn't even beat the thing it was copying, which is the Da Vinci Code. And I'll say this, National Treasure I like a lot more than Da Vinci Code. No, I love National Treasure. Don't get me wrong, I love National Treasure. I love that film. It's great. But like, you could have chose Johnny Depp. You could have chose Johnny Depp as your point of reference. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Society, and some of the greatest games of all time came out. Resident Evil 4. What makes this game so iconic is it's basically like playing a corny B-action movie from the 90s.
No, that's not what makes it iconic. What makes it iconic is it's a great game with good gameplay, and everything is really good. It has like intelligent AI. It has great great level design, some great bosses, a good balance of quick time events and, in-motion gameplay. Leon, great protagonist. Very stylistic, uses the graphical fidelity of all the shadows and darkness very effectively. It looks better than games of its ilk do. And Leon Kennedy,
Saving the president's daughter, you're fighting a giant fish, you encounter hilarious villains like Ramon Salazar and Krauser. The entire time, Leon...
What's hilarious about Krauser? Like, what's funny about Krauser? I mean, there's some goofiness, but it's not the funniest villain Resident Evil has to offer. That would be the Ashford twins, right? That freaking laugh from Code Veronica is one of the greatest laughs ever. But yeah, what's funny about them? That can't be, but like that's not particularly like. When I think of funny, like villains from Resident Evil, I don't think of like the RE4. I think of like fucking Code Veronica. That's Ashford, yeah. Those are the funny villains, I think. That fucking laughter. Salazar is campy. There's a tragedy to his character. He's very campy. Yeah, I agree. But I don't know if I'd say... I think Leon is funnier. I don't know.
Leon is just flirting with hot women and delivering epic one-liners while doing backflips. The one word to describe this game is just fun. Although RE4 Remake is definitely better than most of the slop coming out these days, I feel like they took a bunch of the edgy stuff out and I will always prefer the original. Racing games. So I feel like the only racing games coming out these days are simulator type racing games, your Forzas, your Gran Turismos, with $10 trillion horse testicle shading.
What about Mario Kart? Clearly someone has not been playing Sonic Racing. We got a fucking Evangelion in that. I didn't really talk about that enough. I am so happy we're getting a Sonic, Evangelion, and Godzilla crossover. Yo, you want to talk about 90s and 2000s aesthetics? The Sonic game has fucking Evangelion and Godzilla all in the same place. How cool is that? That is like every cheesy, corny shit all in one place. I love it. You guys don't know about this? Hang on, let me bring this up. One second. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Yo, if you haven't seen this, I gotta share this with you. It's fucking cool as hell. Here we go. So, new Sonic game, Sonic Racing, Crossworlds, has a lot of really cool stuff in it. It's got Avatar here all mixed up, all the good stuff. I hate when it's buffering too much. So right here. Godzilla. Okay. And go. And you can play as Asuka and Rei. I cannot wait for one. I am excited to play as Asuka and Rei. I even fucking played this game before, but I'm gonna get it just for that. I'm easily entertained.
And honestly, I think they're boring as hell. If you're an old head like me, you remember when racing games were way edgier and funnier, like Twisted Metal and Destruction Derby. What I really...
AndyPants. Twisted Metal's not a racing game. It's a car game. It's a big difference. There's no racing in Twisted Metal. The entire point of Twisted Metal is to destroy the other car. Also, its peak was in the 90s with the PlayStation 1 era. Unless you're a Twisted Metal Black fan, which, hey, good for you. But 1 and 2 are the best Twisted Metal games. Yeah, it's a fighting game. It's like an arena fighting game. Exactly. Also, I will say this. 3 and 4 had some good soundtracks, right? That's how I found out about Rob Zombie. Playing Twisted Metal 4 way too much. Having Dragula playing it. Was it 3 or 4 that had Dragula? I forget. Anyway.
Really miss is when racing games prioritized fun over realism.
What defines fun? Again, you're just saying fun. What does it mean? I don't know if you can even define what a racing game is. You think Twisted Metal's a racing game. It's a car fighting game. 4 had Rob Zombie. Thank you. That's right.
Fun is always more important than realism, and I feel like modern racing games have forgotten this. Burnout Revenge is a great example. This game is so insane and over the top. Each race, you have a different objective: wreck the most cars, take out opponents, finish the track fastest. The game just prioritized fun and insanity and wrecks, and it didn't care about...
Like, sure. Like, it's not Crazy Taxi, exactly. Like, I mean... Like Mario Kart, a great example. But like Gran Torino, Burnout, like, yeah, they're whatever, you know, nothing. I never thought they were particularly crazy. Like, they were just kind of whatever. I don't know.
About realism, man. It was just fun. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is another game from this era. You can call in helicopters, fire EMP pulses at other cars, and lay down spike strips. And every race is really intense. You're basically just either playing as the cops or playing as the bad guys, and you're trying to get away. Even all the way back on the original...
Yeah, but whatever, you know, not, I don't know. I never got the hype for racing games like that. I always preferred like stuff that was a little more cartoonish.
PlayStation, one of my favorite racing games of all time was Wipeout XL. It had this badass techno soundtrack, just awesome music, peak graphic design, weapons you could fire, and
peak graphic design. Okay. All right, let me ask you this, chat. Chat, I'm gonna ask you a question here. Do you want this game, this whatever, or alternatively, have you considered Real Peak? Have you considered True Peakage? True Peak. Once it loads. Give it a second. There we go. Have you considered Real Peak? Now this, or do you want AndyPants' boring?
Close races. It's just, it was really a different...
Or, how can you talk about 90s nostalgia or 2000s nostalgia and not bring up F-Zero, one of the most underrepresented game franchises ever? Totally different.
Era of racing games focusing on fun. Metal Gear Solid 3. MGS3 is often cited as one of the greatest video games of all time because it had this amazing, edgy, and over-the-top story coupled with some of the great...
That's not edgy. I would never describe Metal Gear Solid 3 as particularly edgy. There is an ape escape minigame in it. Edgy? Now listen, Metal Gear Solid 3, one of the greatest games of all time. Yeah, absolutely. There is also a scene where they identify Snake as in disguise because the guy grabs his nuts, feels around there, and is like, wait a second, I don't recognize these. Two, yeah, more edgy, sure. 3 3? The reason 3 works so well is it is so much style. It is so much over-the-top style, but edgy is not the description I'd use for it ever.
Greatest gameplay of all time. I have no idea what Kojima is doing now, but this ain't it, Chief. Solid Snake in amazing boss fights, delivering...
Wait, what? Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid 3? Solid Snake. I want to make sure I didn't mishear him on that one. One second. What was that again?
What Kojima is doing now,
that,
but
buddy?
this ain't it, Chief. Solid Snake in amazing boss fights, delivering one...
Solid Snake? Buddy. That's Naked Snake, the big boss. Solid Snake. Solid Snake. Buddy, if you're gonna pull your whole rank about how great the 2000s were, put respect on Big Boss's name. All right? Hell, in the 2000s, there was only one game for Metal Gear Solid that had Solid Snake as the protagonist throughout, and that's 4. Because 2 has him, intro, and then he's Snake, and he's, Pliskin from that point onward. Also, you chose the Fear boss fight, not the end. Or the boss fight. The boss fight.
One-liners, flirting with all the hot women.
Flirting.
Difficult and hard as hell gameplay that really challenged you as a player. It was peak. Dead Rising 1 and 2. Dead Rising 3 and 4 were made by Microsoft and our dog water. So if you want to experience peak Capcom, I think you need to play
Peak Capcom?
RE4, Dead Rising 2, and Devil May Cry. Again,
the original Devil May Cry over 3. Now that's a choice. That's a brave choice I disagree with. Also, no Mega Man? Interesting.
What makes these games so good is they just didn't give a crap, dude. They were like, hot chicks? Yeah, of course. Funny dialogue? Of course. Edgy dialogue? Yeah, of course. Hilarious and over-the-top villains and story? Yeah, of course. Badass and awesome weapons? Yeah, of course. But another thing that made 2000s games so iconic is often they're like really, really...
When did Dead Rising 2 come out? Was that... I thought that was like 2010. Yeah, no, it's not even a 2000s game. It's 2010. I knew I was right. Okay, cool. I thought I was going crazy. I'm like, Dead Rising? I don't remember that being 2000s. Because I remember playing that in college. That's why I'm a little confused. Like, wait, I thought it came out in college. Yeah, it's 2010. So it's not even 2000s. Dude. Yeah, Yakuza, exactly. Jesus. What a fucking... Also, no Shenmue 2? Come on. No Soul Calibur 3 or 2? Come on. Come on, man. What a fucking fake fan.
Really hard. For example, in Dead Rising 1, you could just run out of time in the middle of a playthrough of the game, and you're just done, and you have to restart. And I love how punishing and uncompromising old 2000s games were in this.
Yeah, if you don't play the game properly, you run out of time. Yeah, that just happened. Yeah, exactly. Because you'd have to actually play the game correctly, didn't you? That's not particularly unusual, though. There are tons of games with time limits. It's not... Also, hang on a second. Why are you not addressing one of the biggest franchises from the 2000s? Kingdom Hearts. That was one of the big ones.
This way. Crackdown. So Crackdown is a super edgy game from 2007 where you play as a cop just beating the shit out of people. It's wonderful.
Any Crackdown fans in chat? Holler if you like Crackdown. Any Crackdown fans? This is really stupid. I don't know. Crackdown. I never liked this game series.
You run around and collect giant green orbs, which is just a viscerally satisfying thing to do. The edgy thing this game had was that different gangs correlated to different races. Ooh, we can't do that anymore because we're just pussified now as a culture. So the Shy Jin were a really funny Asian stereotype, Los Muertos were a funny Mexican stereotype, and the Volk were a funny Eastern European / Borat stereotype.
A Borat stereotype? You mean like fucking Russian, right? It's the Russian mob. It's not Borat. It's Russia. I love how it's like, this thing's racist, therefore it's good. What kind of like fucking peaked in middle school mentality does fucking AndyPants have? Did you stop maturing when your balls dropped? Like, what's the fuck's going on there, buddy? What's the story there? Collecting orbs is satisfying. Yeah, you know what else I had collecting orbs in? Devil May Cry. But if the point of Devil May Cry was, oh, I can't wait to collect the orbs and kill enemies, it's like, is that really the peak of the game? You know what other games have you collecting stuff when you kill enemies? Spyro the Dragon. Is Spyro the Dragon edgy and satisfying?
I think what made later Crackdown games so bad is they took...
Oh, Jak and Daxter. There's no Jak and Daxter mention. That was a great game for the 2000s. Love Jak and Daxter.
Everything that made this game edgy and funny and just watered it down or removed it so it really wasn't the same game anymore. Silent Hill 2. Again, the Silent Hill 2 remake is fine and it's still better than most of the slop out today, but it's nowhere near as disturbing and good as the original. So
why do you say that?
Just play the original. They had to make the main chick ugly because, of course, it's a bunch of gay Jews running.
Okay, first off, she's a kid. Second off, the main chick? The main chick? She's not even the main female? AndyPants. Let's ignore the fact you're being anti-Semitic and homophobic for a second, right? Let's put that aside. That's obvious for AndyPants. AndyPants is obviously throwing pro-Nazi shit all the time. Are you under the impression that Angela is the main female lead of the game? Now, in the game Silent Hill 2, James gets a letter from his dead wife to come to Silent Hill and finds a woman there who looks identical to his wife. Neither of these characters is fucking Angela. What a fucking fake fan. What a fucking tourist. Now listen, it's okay if you can't remember everything from a game from 26 years ago. That's fine. I get it. I forget what I've watched in terms of movies from a few weeks ago, unless I've written it down. I get that. However, if you're writing a script for a video and you want to talk about how much you love Silent Hill 2, it helps if you know who the main characters of Silent Hill 2 are. Also, Silent Hill is all about sexual repression and sexual abuse, and you chose the character who was sexually assaulted to say, oh, she's not sexy enough for me, therefore bad. What a fucking LARPer.
Things. But does anybody remember when you first encounter Pyramid Head and he's like strangling / having sex with one of those mannequins?
That's not even the first time you see Pyramid Head. Pretty sure you can spot Pyramid Head a little bit when you're walking down those halls and you turn a corner and he's at the very far end behind a gate, if I recall correctly. Also, Pyramid Head represents James' repressed sexuality and rage.
It's like one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen, and I'm going to blur it out here on screen because you're probably not here for that. But my point is just how edgy and badass games in the 2000s were.
What was badass about that? Okay, explain what was badass about Pyramid Head committing sexual assault. Oh no, the most famous scene in Silent Hill 2. How badass and cool was that? What about the scene in Silent Hill 2 where you find out what James did to his wife? And you realize that Pyramid Head is a representation of his own repressed sexual rage and frustrations. The reason he has a big-ass fucking sword that's too heavy for him to carry and he drags it behind him is representative of James's own feelings of inadequacy with his masculinity. Andy, the reason Pyramid Head is a giant misshapen phallus is because he's James's limp dick. And you didn't even make that connection. With all your peaked at middle school mentality, you couldn't make the joke that Pyramid Head is a phallus. He is a literal phallus. He is a phallus on the head. He carries a giant phallus. He is crumpling under the weight of his phallus. And you can't even figure that out. But no, he does cool things. He assaults a frickin' bunch of monsters. Therefore, he's badass. Jesus Christ. What a fucking poser.
Konami out here like, yeah, of course we're going to traumatize a bunch of 8-year-old kids with the most disturbing scene ever. Silent Hill 2 was the kind of game spoken of in hushed tones at the lunch table in 2001. Medal of Honor. So this one is kind of random, but I was playing Medal of Honor European Assault on the original Xbox the other day, and this game is super patriotic because our culture is just full of beta.
Remember when war was bad at? Did you ever, AndyPants, ask you a question here, Mr. Anderson Panson? Did you ever serve? Did you serve in the war? Did you serve in war? The 2000s was an era defined by war. Do you know why these games fell out of favor? Because a lot of people served in the war, came back from the war, and were traumatized. Spec Ops: The Line is what was the response to people coming back from war, because people, after a decade of the forever war in Afghanistan and Iraq, did not want to keep talking about real war. They just didn't. No one was feeling nostalgic for World War II after a decade of violence outside of you LARPing soldiers. Now, mind you, I didn't serve either. I'm not a soldier. But I know people who did serve, and when they got back, they were fucking traumatized. War was cool. Shut the fuck up, you fucking liar. Let some super chats play.
At 000Jolono00 super chatted $1.99. Also, Andy using the R slur? Not cool, dude.
But not surprising.
At MatcherLock9636 super chatted $5. What does normal people even mean anymore?
I guess pro-war.
We're the normal ones now. How do these MAGA creeps delusion themselves to think they are normal?
Because in their world, everyone but them are normal. It's fucking crazy, I know.
At Forge_Mastered super chatted $5.65. Hi Aunt, what are we looking at today? Was watching your video on right-wing horror, and I was thinking, do you really think it is not possible to make religious horror that's left-wing?
It's not impossible, but it's very difficult. Something like the first Omen is more left-wing
At
religious horror,
Zypher
I think.
8677
Depends if you're
super
gonna
chatted
establish that
$2. Cage and Bay should come back to make The Rock too.
I would say yes. Absolutely.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $4.99. Face Off is the greatest chewing of scenery Nick Cage movie, and I'll fight people on that.
Vampire's Kiss. That's my challenge to you.
At
That's a
user
little handier.
_225_ CCC super chatted $1.99. Okay, but as a racing game fan, 2000s was the peak emo.
I won't even argue in that one. There was some good racing games in the 2000s, but I mean, I prefer the more fantasy.
At Matcherlock 9636 super chatted $5. Left-wing religious reversal where goth, pagan friends have to force an angel out of their friend after it was placed there by a megachurch.
Have you seen The First Omen?
At Tyrants Redix super chatted $2.16. I was born in the 2000s and my earliest memory was playing Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005 with my older brother. Also much love from South Africa.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh man, that sounds like a fun memory. Yeah, no. And thank you for
At
watching. South Africa. That's
Racer45
wild.
super chatted $5. As somebody who loves racing games, to actively say they are boring is crossing the line for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it depends on what's good. Some are good, some
At
are.
Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. Hope the Eva girls have unique convos with Sage.
Oh, I hope they include some good stuff in that. For that.
At Dowman 5 super chatted $5. This is the sound of 35 years of sonic,
Yep.
endless background buzzing.
Yep.
At 000 Agent 88 super chatted $2. For gearheads, the realism is fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun for some people. I agree. Yeah, it makes sense. If that's your thing, go
At
for
Balthazar 228 super chatted $4.99. Diddy Kong racing heads are still waiting on a revival.
it. Yeah, seriously, you guys are gonna fight a forever war in that one.
At Angels Art and Gaming super chatted $2. F0GX mention. Bring F0 back, you cowards.
They will always be cowards and never do it. I hear you. That's the problem.
At Lucky_Dagger super chatted $5. Metal Gear Solid is so campy when you actually break it down.
It's very campy. It's very goofy. Thank you for joining us as a storyteller. I'm going to add the link to Discord for members only after this stream, so keep an eye out for that. But you're welcome, if you want to be a member, hey, join my Discord and be fun. Well, you'll join if you become a member. Anyway.
At Olivia_Williams_purple_fairy super chatted $5. You can't talk about 2000s nostalgia without BioWare.
Fucking Knights of the Old Republic right there. Yeah. Dragon Age.
At Matcherlock 9636 super chatted $2.
Mass Effect.
Spyro is peak and racism was never funny, dude.
Exactly on both. Agree on both of those entirely.
At Olivia_Williams_purple_fairy super chatted $1.99. Saw is badass. AndyPants apparently.
Apparently so. I'm thinking they always suddenly bit like, oh, it's badass. You can't say it on YouTube because they get.
At My Squeezing Arm
Bullshit,
super
but-
chatted $2. Andy. Custer's Revenge is edgy, therefore food.
Yes, Custer's Revenge is food to some. Along with beat 'em and
At
eat 'em.
Tyrants Redix super chatted 86 cents. I'm a Christian. Thinks G.R. Ape is badass.
Yep. That's because he's the grapist.
At Wyatt Ahmedin 5747 super chatted $10. Not to give the other grifters credit, but it's fascinating how half-hearted AndyPants is in comparison. The others at least try to act like they care. He feels like he's clocking into his shift.
And if you look at like his editing now, he's lost an editor, I think, because it's gone downhill.
At Olivia
in the last,
Williams
couple months.
purple fairy super chatted $1.99. I know soldiers who never came back.
Yeah.
At Angels Art and Gaming super chatted $2. I love military games and I say war is not cool.
Yeah, war is terrible. War is not fun. It's just horrible.
At O0Ojolono00 super chatted $5. Some of those people who served in the war probably ended up like Sam Cahill.
Yeah.
At anonymous_individual super
Sonic
chatted
Chronicles, well, yeah,
$4.99.
that's nostalgia
I
trip.
wonder how different Andy's life would have turned out if he got a Wii instead of an Xbox. Imagine him lovingly reminiscing about Mario Galaxy.
He would be a kind of guy who would say, like, we peaked with Wind Waker with
At
Zelda.
Balthazar 228 super
Princess,
chatted
probably.
$4.99. I had no idea Nick Cage was in Castlevania Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss is incredible, alright? It's a great movie.
At Straw Hat Monty 22,897 super chatted $2. As Anard of Nerds racing games are fun Carter Sim.
Yeah. I love some good racing games. Well, when they're good. Sometimes. Anyway, back to this.
Cuck soy boys now, and being patriotic is somehow considered edgy. Basically, the music of the game once.
Listen, AndyPants. I want to issue a challenge. Can you describe something without saying it's edgy? Please, for once. Cool.
You to feel like you are this heroic American badass fighting in World War II. It's awesome. Another thing I love about this game is just how good it feels to play. The game wants you to feel like a hero. The way the guns shoot and move is really satisfying. I know Medal of Honor got dominated by Call of Duty starting in 2007, but this 2005 game really shows you what I think is sort of peak Medal of Honor before it went down. San Andreas.
Buddy, Medal of Honor was as edgy as Band of Brothers. All right? And that wasn't edgy. It was the kind of thing you put on the History Channel. You put on, like, at your uncle's house, who, like, loves the World War II documentaries and History Channel. And, like, it's family acceptable, like, action. Because it's like, oh, no, the greatest generation, you know? Also, AndyPants, you were fighting Nazis. Do you know what the Nazis believed in? A lot of the same things you believe in, actually. Yeah, no, listen, like, freaking Medal of Honor is as edgy as, like, a fucking Ken Burns World War II documentary with, like, the same, it has the same music where it's, like, the super solemn, respectable, like, again, like Saving Private Ryan music, essentially. Like, they're not edgy. Like, I played Medal of Honor when I was, like, 9. You know, like, nothing edgy in those games. Like, there's so much edgier from that era. Like, you didn't talk about Manhunt. No. You want to talk edgy. Do you want the game I played back in the 2000s? I'll show you a game I played back in the 2000s that was edgy. Come on. Listen. Here's an edgy. Now, this is edgy. All right? Let me show you. Where's the freaking... Now, this was edgy. AndyPants, let's see you talk about this freaking gem from the 2000s, all right? This was edgy. This game was the one that broke the ESRB rating system. This is edgy. Or hell, you want to talk about really edgy? Now, listen, this was a real... Okay, let me find something that's not too... Okay. What can I show that's not too inappropriate for YouTube? Okay, here we go. If you recognize this, you know. Right? Who here recognizes this? Chat, type 1 if you know what this is. You know what this is. If you've seen it, you know this is way edgier than anything AndyPants Gaming has talked about so far. Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know, watch my monster fucking video. You'll have an answer on that. Yeah, no. So let me be honest about this. What is more edgy? San Andreas or Saya no Uta, commonly referred to on Steam as Song of Saya. Chat, let's establish this. What's edgier? GTA San Andreas Saya no Uta. For anyone in all the weebs in chat are about to answer that properly. Or hell, let me show you one of the edgiest things. Yeah, no. Yeah. Everyone knows what the answer is. It's the visual novel. So inappropriate, I can't even show you a screenshot of it without worrying about YouTube demonetizing this stream. Yeah, exactly. It's not even a fucking contest. I love how I can out-edge AndyPants in seconds.
Manhunt and Bully. So
there we go. Manhunt is mentioned. That's fine.
All know Rockstar is gay, woke, and soft now because of all the women working at the company. We can see this in the safe, sanitized slop they have been putting into GTA Online the past 5 years. But did you know there was a time Rockstar was absolutely peak edgelord and constantly pushed the envelope? GTA San Andreas invented the famous hot coffee mod. Tons of sexual references in the game.
They chickened out of including the hot coffee mod. The reason the hot coffee mod exists is because fans unlocked it. They were so afraid of controversy, they tried denying hot coffee was a thing. You dumbass.
Tons of violence. The game was brutal and showed real-life Los Angeles.
Real-life Los Angeles. You think that's real? You think that's really what Los Angeles is like? Listen, if it doesn't simulate being stuck in 5 hours of traffic, it's not real LA. I'm telling you that right now. If there's no 5-10 hours around LAX or whatever, it's not real. It's not real LA. Bruh. Come on.
And did you know San Andreas actually made fun of trans people? I wonder what the developers...
Oh, wow. That thing that was so common in the 2000s and 90s happened there? Wow.
At Rockstar today that are all woke, think about that now. Manhunt had absolutely brutal and nihilistic killing by the player. Can you imagine some 10-year-old playing this game on the screen and his parents?
I can't imagine it because the game was almost not allowed. And in fact, Rockstar had to censor the game on release because it was too violent for the ESRB. But nowadays, you can play Manhunt uncensored because we've modified it. Also back then, having sex in a video game was so controversial, it got put on Fox News as a controversial topic. Let's let this poll end.
It's walking it wild. Zooming out a bit more, I think what the PS2 and Xbox had was simply just variety. Guitar.
Wait, what's that variety here?
Was simply just variety.
Okay. Racing game. Okay, Zone of Enders. Okay. You have Dark Cloud. Okay, Dark Cloud, I'll give you that. Dark Cloud's a bit of an oddball choice. Zone of Enders, oddball choice. Sure. But, gotta say, I'm unimpressed by your collection here. Very unimpressed. Not a single... this is all your basic starter pack for PlayStation 2. First couple of years of PlayStation 2. A couple JRPGs, sure. Tekken, all right. Time Splitters, basic, whatever. What else are you missing there? No Kingdom Hearts. No Silent Hill 2. The first Devil May Cry, but not even Devil May Cry 3. Come on, man. And of course, you're missing true classics.
Guitar Hero, Medal of Honor, COD, GTA, Final Fantasy X, Soul Calibur, God of War, Twisted Metal, Jak and Daxter, Tekken,
Finally, Jack
Simpsons
Text
Hit and Run, Kingdom Hearts, SSX.
Oh, finally Kingdom Hearts. Okay, hang on a second here. Hang on a second here, Andy Pants. Mr. Anderson Pants, we have to take a step back here.
Jak and Daxter, Tekken, Simpsons Hit and Run, Kingdom Hearts.
You are seriously, without a hint of irony, going to complain about modern gaming being gay, yet you like Kingdom Hearts. You're going to complain about modern gaming being gay and praise Kingdom Hearts. I don't think you heard me correctly. You're going to talk about modern games being gay, and you like Kingdom Hearts. Mind you, I love Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is great. One of my favorite game series of all time. The game is extremely gay. Like, come on. Jesus Christ. Okay. You know what? Let's go to the video I was going to talk about the whole time. Okay. The video I want to talk about this whole time was the war on normal people. We built up. Now, I want to bring up something real quick I want to talk about right now before we get started. You notice the production values on Andy Pants' video, right? The editing quality. I want you to remember it because it's gone down. I don't know what's going on with his editing. I don't know what happened, but at some point, something fell apart here because this editing is bad. I'll let some supers play real quick.
At the guy 493 super chatted $2. Edgy games from the 2000s and no conquer?
Yeah, right? No bad fur day.
At Balthazar 228 super chatted $4.99. I just watched the trailer for Vampire's Kiss and fully concede. New York Cage is so ham-filled that it's no longer kosher.
He has the greatest scene of discussing the ABCs ever. The memes of Cage come from this
At
movie.
Wyatt
It's amazing.
Amedin 5747 super chatted $5. Been watching Band of Brothers recently. It's a favorite of my dad's, especially the first episode. Curious about your take, Ant.
Band of Brothers is a classic. Band of Brothers is great. You're not going to see me bash Band of Brothers. It's fantastic.
At user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. Hot take. Soyboy is an anti-Asian dog whistle.
I can see that. That makes sense to me.
At Racer45 super chatted $2.
Oh
I bet
God.
Andy Pants doesn't know about the Guy game.
I wouldn't be shocked if he owns a copy of the Guy game, despite knowing why it's off
At
shelves.
the Waverner
Well, it's
super
pulled off
chatted
shelves.
$2. Shadow the Hedgehog is objectively an edgy game.
You know what? You are correct. It is an edgy game. It is the edgiest of edgy games.
At Eustace Giwo super
Fucking love
chatted
Shadow.
$5. Edgy? How about No More Heroes? Granted, I think Fate of Destroy Man would depress Andy Pants' thinking face.
Just have him play Hatred at this point. He just needs to play Hatred all day. Only
At
game he wants to play.
user_225_CCC super chatted $1.99. Andy and Ant in an Edgin contest? AOPAOC.
I would win. What? Thank you for 8 months. Speaking of someone who actively lives in Las Vegas, Andy has no idea what the actual fuck he's talking about. Yeah, I figured so. That makes sense. Thanks for being a member for 8 months.
At Lucky_Dagger super chatted $5. Women at the company, as opposed to investors in suits who wanted to make the games have broader palatability.
Yeah, and the suits run everything anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
At Olivia_Williams_purple_fairy super chatted $1.99. Remember Mass Effect Fox News coverage?
I do. I had to get footage for it for my monster romance video.
At Black Rabbit Studios 11 super chatted $1.99. Proving Sean's Stellar Blade video correct.
Absolutely true. All right. Before we get started, we're going to the bathroom one last time because we're going to be here for the long haul with this one. But, going to boot it up.
Does anybody else?
Going to boot it up. And one last bathroom break for now. We will be right back shortly thereafter. Let me play the music again. let's I'll be right back. Be right back, y'all. Don't go anywhere. Have some nice, pleasant music. I'll be back in a couple seconds. Returned company. All right, let's go it. Let's do it. Let's do some AndyPants. Let's game with AndyPants here. All right, chat. Sorry for the delay. Pausing music. I was trying to push it aside as long as possible, where I didn't have to actually watch the true video here. All right, gentlemen and ladies and everyone else. Time to talk about this. And by the way, watch the editing.
Let's notice that every TV show, video game, movie, and media conglomerate is spending billions trying to get...
Okay, let's look at this right here. Gay, Jew... He's censoring Jewish now. He knows. He knows people are coming after him for this. Gay, Jewish, globalist slop. Let's take a look at this here. Cuties. He's all that. Thunder Force, Persuasion, Q-Force, Sierra Burgess, School for Good and Evil, and Moxie. Okay, so a middle school best-selling novel adaptation, a high school girl movie, a single-season cartoon that was very pandering, but also entertaining. Never heard of Moxie. Persuasion, an adaptation of a Jane Austen novel from the fucking Regency era. A Melissa McCarthy comedy no one remembers. A remake of She's All That, or sequel, whatever. And one of the most controversial films, widely hated by so many people. Of all of these, when was the last time you ever heard anyone in casual conversation talking about it? Any of these? Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Get you to hate things that are...
Love is Blind Toxic Men show the terrible effect the manosphere is having on single women. Latest series of the reality show has been innocent women suckered into by red pill men who happily compare themselves to Andrew Tate on screen. What's the problem here? So men acted like assholes in a show on their own in a reality TV show, and that was a problem. What's your issue with it?
Good. Loving your own culture is now racist.
Okay, so apparently it's racist. So Norman Rockwell... Hang on, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, knights, domed roofs, know what's funny about this domed roof? It's not America. Knights? Listen, AndyPants, are you under the impression that Knights are American? Yeah, let me move this over so you can see it more clearly. But he's saying Norman Rockwell, Knights, American flag, and churches in Europe are all out culture. Also, I'm getting mixed signals in the second one because there's a burning car and police. So are you saying the burning car is bad, or being upset by the burning car is bad? We also don't know why the car is burning. And police. And I love here how he has maybe stopped doing illegal shit next to the cops. AndyPants, I don't know if you realize this, but if you're just showing cops standing there, and you have a statement saying, stop doing illegal shit, the implication is the cops are doing the illegal shit. Oh, man. Graphic design. And right here we have two churches, and he's saying Islamophobe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That looks like Greek Orthodox, right? Is this Greek Orthodox? That looks like Greek, right? Am I mistaken? I'm probably wrong. Whatever.
Protecting your family from criminals is now...
Isn't that First Church Greek Orthodox? Yeah, I think it's Eastern Orthodox, right? It's I don't think either of these are Catholic. Did AndyPants just choose random churches without knowing what religion they actually belong to? I don't know, man. I think he's missing a few things.
Fascist. Loving your own religion is now Islamophobic. Pedro Pascal and Stephen Colbert...
You fucking censored the kissing? You fucking censored the kissing? You are made of weaker shit than paper. Toilet paper is stronger than you are. You fucking wimp.
Went on TV and shared a kiss recently to promote his new movie aimed at children. That's right.
Which movie? Which movie was it, AndyPants? What was the movie named? Can you name it? Can you name the movie? Can you name it, buddy? I guess you can't. Two old white men kissing on screen. Yeah, The Mandalorian and Grogu, right? The Jewish director and production company. Jewish. Okay, let me confirm that. Hang on a second. Mandalorian and Grogu. That's yeah, that's what's his name. Yep, kept Jon Favreau. Religion. Okay. Let's find out. Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. So, what's very interesting here is that Jon Favreau is both Jewish and Catholic. So, his mother's Jewish, an Ashkenazi Jew, and his father's Catholic of an Italian and French Canadian ancestry. I don't know if he's ever said if his religion is a particularly big part of his life, though. Okay, so he is Jewish, and he's Catholic. So there you go. Interesting. Did not know that. Okay, yeah, but here's the problem with all that, Andy. What's your fucking point? Who gives a shit?
Disney thought it was okay for two men to kiss on TV to promote a children's film.
Oh no, the horror. Call the press.
But they're going to spin around and say conservatives are the ones we need to be concerned about.
Yes. Let me ask you a question, AndyPants. Is it how many? Let me ask a quick question. You know, this might be inappropriate, but who is more dangerous for children to be around? A drag queen or a priest? Which one of those two demographics has a long history of abusing children? Here's a hint. It's not the drag queens. I know. Shocking, controversial, hot button topic, I know. But it's the priests who have the cover up, don't they? Yeah. Anyway. AndyPants, and the other funny thing is, AndyPants, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. Also, didn't you make a CSAM game?
Right.
Yeah.
Getting ready for Pride Month, the ultra-gay city of Boston just announced it will be hosting 19 drag queen story hours for children.
Better than allowing them to go to a church. It's far safer. There's far few incidents in a drag queen story hour at a library than they are in the Catholic Church's confessional booth.
Every year at these events, Redditors skip the furry convention for a weekend to show up at these events and expose themselves to children.
So are they at the conventions or not? It's like the furries, famously known for taking off outfits. Dude, I don't know if you noticed, but furries, they tend to put more on their bodies to cover them as opposed to less. Typically speaking, the furry convention encourages people to put on clothing as opposed to take it off. Also, Sam Altman is super conservative. Like, are you under the impression that they're not on your side? Sam Altman is partially why you have your audience. I'm not defending Sam Altman. Fuck him. He's a terrible human being. He's an awful, awful person. He is responsible for a lot of pain and suffering in this world. But I find it funny how the audience that Sam Altman has courted seems to hate who he is.
But guys, remember, conservatives are the problematic
They are conservative. What are you talking about?
ones. The Charlie Kirk shooting, the Nashville shooting, the Colorado Springs.
Wait, what? One of these was possibly trans, though there was a debate on that one. Charlie Kirk, Trump, they were not shot by trans people. What are you talking about? They were both like conservatives. They came from conservative families. One was a Mormon. What are you talking about? Like, what are you going off of, buddy? They're not trans. One was possibly trans, but that's one shooter out of hundreds of others. I think the Nashville shooter, I think, was trans, right? Let me double check. Let me confirm that. I'm not sure. I don't really remember off the top of my head. ...2023 Nashville shooting. No, Aiden Hale. Let me just confirm that. Oh, no, shit. Okay, sorry. Okay, never mind. Audrey Hale. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah. She was, yeah, she was trans, but, That is like one killer out of hundreds. Hundreds and hundreds. Hey, where's Mark? Where's Mark? Mark? Mark is here. Who is Mark? Oh, who's this Mark? Oh, you're on here? Hey, man. Oh, there you are. Yeah, yeah. AndyPants does live in Bizarre World. When are you gonna cover fucking AndyPants on your channel, man? Ah, man, yeah, there's a crazy fucking guy. Yeah, Movies with Mark. Awesome channel. Watch Movies with Mark. First got TTBN Gaming. We got Movies with Mark in chat. We got some cool guys in chat.
Shooting, the Trump assassination attempt. Basically, every public shooting from the past 2 years was carried out by a trans person.
That is statistically wrong. It ain't fucking true. Every shooting, huh? So if I find one that's not made by a trans person, you're wrong. Well, Charlie Kirk, not shot by a trans person. Therefore, you're wrong. So there you go. Go fuck yourself.
But Republicans are the dangerous ones.
Most shooters are right-wing, yes. Including half of the ones on your list.
Right. In the UK and France right now, there's skyrocketing rape rates and terrorist attacks perpetuated exclusively by illegal migrants.
Exclusively, huh? Okay, here's it. I see statistics right here that's on the rise. Now, AndyPants, let me ask you a question. What's more likely, that they're actually increasing or they're being reported more? What's more likely? Also, you show a chart real fast. Then you show
rocketing rape rates,
a list of faces. Then you
terrorist
show,
attacks
without any evidence as to what their crimes are, what they're in there for, if they were actually convicted, just like the arrest, you know,
acts perpetuated exclusively by.
You have no evidence for this, you're saying it.
Illegal migrants. But the fat white liberal women who work at game studios will call you fascist and Islamophobic for pointing out this obvious fact.
Well, if you don't provide evidence, statistics, you showed disconnected statistics, a bunch of photos of like maybe 20 people who are brown, and you say that 20 brown people are the assaulters, are responsible for raising the assault rates in Europe that much?
Boys, why has basic common sense and
normal people, stock photos, satanic pedophiles? Oh my god. Sam Altman is a satanic pedophile along with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, no. I'm from the UK and I call bullshit and AndyPants. Knife crime is on the rise. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I figured. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is Epstein on the right? Considering how much this guy loves Trump, I'm kind of shocked by that.
And decency becomes such a rare thing these days. What I really want to talk about, though, is how this has spilled over into video games.
Jesus
I
Christ.
open up Xbox Communist Pass, and everything is just so fucking gay, and none of these...
No, people are so gay. Okay, let me be honest with you. Who is playing any of these games? Like, yeah, so many people made a big deal at Mixtape when it came out. And they kept asking me, Anthony, you gonna talk about Mixtape? I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck about Mixtape. I'll be honest with you. I don't care about Mixtape. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't look like something I want to play. I'm sorry. Like, I know people really got upset over it, but I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So you know what I did? You know what I did when I said the game didn't matter to me? I did something really radical. You know, I did this crazy thing. When Mixtape was coming out, I thought, wow, this does not appeal to me whatsoever. I did something really crazy. I didn't talk about Mixtape. I know. Shocking concept. if you don't care about something, you can do this insane thing called not talking about it. I know. Listen. Hold your applause. I know it's brave of me to do so. I know. You can do it. You can just sometimes shut the fuck up about a game. I know. It can be done. It can be done. You can do it too. You can do it too. I believe in you. I know. Brave. Chat, hold your applause. I know. Truly amazing stuff we're doing today. Not complaining about a video game you don't give a shit about. Also, I haven't even heard of half these games. Call of the Elder Gods? Like, what are you talking? Oh, we have an issue here? All right, hang on. We have some issues with the... Cool, awesome. OBS had some problems there for a second. We still on? We still good? Any issues in chat? We're back? We good? Excellent. Sorry about that. OBS had a minor issue on my end. I'm so sorry. Anyway, might be running too many things at once. Let me cut some tabs. Yeah, I can cut the... Oh, let me cut that one. Yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, I'm still working slowly on my High Guardian Spice video, which is coming eventually. Sorry about that, guys. That was a little bit of an issue there. Yeah, OBS briefly disconnected. Sorry about that. Anyway, back to this. Yeah, magazines are not games. AndyPants. I'm going to tell you this. You can't play a magazine. Also, StarCraft Ghost, Project Gotham 2, Brute Force, Splinter Cell 2, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. Okay, well, listen. Why are you talking about this and not the most famous video game magazine? Listen, oh, wow, okay. Okay, never mind. I thought Lara Croft... Yeah, no, so there was a Tomb Raider, I'm not going to bring up on screen because it's a little racy. But there was a Playboy magazine cover for Lara Croft back in the day. So, I'm just saying.
One, I think you could see the difference.
Yeah, one's made of paper, the other's digital. What's your fucking point?
So I think the best example of how game journalists just hate normal...
Also, what bad editing. Wow, holy shit. Look at this. Look at this.
You could see the difference.
Yeah, look at that. Look how he's not synchronized the images. That's sloppy, man. Like, I did it twice. It's a full, like, half second. Wow. You can align that. It's so easy to do that. Right. Jesus. Okay, whatever.
So I think the best example of how game journalists just hate normal people now was...
What does game journalism have to do with anything we're talking about right now? We're talking about video games on Xbox Pass versus magazines, covers, mind you, not even like the games themselves. And now talking about game journalism? What do these three things have to do with each other?
The release of Pragmata. So this game came out about a month ago and is one of the most wholesome things I've ever played. You play as a dad protecting his surrogate android daughter. People were calling it Dad Space. But the wild thing is you could see the game factory resetting OnlyFans whores in real time.
Yeah, baby.
What the fuck kind of comment is that? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Factory reset. What? Because it made people feel emotionally something? What the fuck does that mean? AndyPants, because women work in sex work, they still have human emotions, you fucking weirdo. Jesus Christ. People have commented sometimes, I get like impatient with some of these guys where I sound like I'm getting a little too extreme. what do you expect me to do when I hear that? Like, what do you think I'm going to say when I hear something like that? Right? Like, how do you react to that? Jesus Christ. Okay.
We did it! This is how we say good.
How is that feminism leaves body? It says right here, feminism leaves body. How is it feeling emotional, feminism leaving the body? What does that mean, AndyPants? Like, look at this. What does that mean? What the fuck are you talking about? Feminism leaves the body. What does that fucking mean? Like how, do you think, like, being a sex worker means you can't be capable of love and emotion? What does that mean? Also, how do you know she's a sex worker? She's just there, apparently, playing the game. Who is this person? It's a TikTok reaction. Like, what?
What? She's never received a high five before. Aww. She wants a high five.
Factory resetting women. What does that mean, Andy? Do you think that people do not have emotions? I think the problem is, AndyPants, is that they just don't show you what they think because you're a weird fucking 43-year-old who makes CSAM games featuring their daughter.
You kiddo?
Oh, this is so cute.
Years of feminist programming was being completely undone in real time as women realized why God made them.
Andy, okay, listen, Andy. Andy, are you under the impression that that feminism means you hate children? Are you under the impression that women wanting basic respect means they hate children? Andy, you're okay. I'm not even I don't think I need to explain why that's fucking stupid.
Not to be sluts on OnlyFans, but to have children.
This is TikTok. It's TikTok. It's not OnlyFans. It's TikTok. I know it's TikTok because you left your TikTok on the side here. Like right here, or is it YouTube Shorts? It's either YouTube Shorts or TikTok. It's one of the two.
Completely undone in real time as women realized why God.
Okay, that's YouTube Shorts. You're on YouTube Shorts. You're not on OnlyFans. You're on YouTube Shorts.
Made them not to be sluts on OnlyFans, but to have
Jesus Christ
children. What happened next was wild though, and was the ultimate self-report. The challenge of not sexualizing a child was simply too hard for Reddit, and the LGBTQ crowd started talking about how Pragmata
AndyPants, did you actually read the headlines you're citing here? Steam users are tagging Pragmata with pedophilia. Pragmata was not problematic. It was the discussion around the game that made people feel uncomfortable. You are citing Reddit threads from a Reddit that has a gay flag on it, saying Pragmata was fine. You're saying your headlines are people saying Pragmata was good, actually, and not bad, and that people were making it weird around you. And you're saying that the Redditors are saying the problem was the game. You're arguing that Redditors were weird, and the Redditors are defending the game. The Redditors are saying the game is fine, and you're blaming the Redditors. The Redditors you're associating with AI art and drag queens are the ones saying the game is good, actually, and you should stop being weird about the game. AndyPants, they're defending the game. Did you fucking read the headline? Or did you just Google subreddit Pragmata and just assume, yeah, my audience can't read. They won't notice. Are you stupid? Are you really that dumb?
Was, and I quote, pedo bait.
None of them are calling that in the freaking... Okay. AndyPants. Where is pedo bait in any of the titles you're posting? It's not there because you're lying.
Pedo bait. Stacey Henley is a trans weirdo on the site The Gamer who...
AndyPants. Okay. AndyPants, you're targeting a woman who makes $15 a written article. Less than that now, because The Gamer has changed its payment model. It's a self-report. Okay, listen, AndyPants. You're against pedophilia, right? You're against it? This writer is pointing that some people are being creepy about the girl, right? It's not a self-report if her job is to look at what people are saying and say that's bad. Why would you be against the way people... Mind you, this article from the headline is not saying the game is pedo bait. It's saying people are being weird online and that's bad. AndyPants, she's saying the same thing you're saying right now. Sorry. Ooh, wow, that's gross. So, crap. One second. Sorry about that. That's gross. Allergies, man. Anyway. AndyPants, you are saying it's bad to be a creep, right? You're saying that, right? She's saying it's bad to be a creep too. So what's the fucking argument? You're going to misrepresent her article, probably, yeah.
Who literally can't go 2 seconds without talking about Diana in a sexual way somehow.
That is the opposite. Let's look at the article. Let's look at the article real quick, shall we? Let's read it. Let's read together. Let's do something crazy. Let's read the article from The Gamer, shall we? By Stacey Henley. Let's read together, shall we? Story time. I don't really mind people finding video game characters attractive. If I did mind, it would be hypocritical. Do people get weird about it and take it too far sometimes? Absolutely. But that's the same for pop stars, actors, cartoon characters, and just real life people we find attractive. It happens. You could argue that weird attitudes towards game characters are more frequent in video games, but that might just be because you have greater interest in video games, I assume, unless you're somebody from the pop star. And therefore, have seen most of it. You could argue it tends to be a bigger deal in video games when the culture war is incessant, or the fictional, hyper-designed nature of the character models tends to be seen as a win or a loss for each side of this entirely imagined divide. But it only matters as much as you care about it. As much as you care about. I, a woke game journalist, humbly declare that Eve from Celebrate is hot. This is commonly agreed upon, yet often fought over. I'm still not sure why. The issue becomes when the primary reason for playing, which is quickly becoming a toxic tar pit within you trying to convince yourself and are convinced by infinite likelihood findings, this game the only reasons should exist. Okay, Eve. The response to Fragment's dynamic cannot be normalized. Okay. In the run-up to its release, Reddit banned a Pragmata subreddit because of its content. Even with gaming communities being infamously toxic, this is a rare occurrence. r/Pragmata, with an underscore, was shut down due to Reddit's Rule 4, which refers to sexually explicit content of minors. Okay. So the issue here is that the Pragmata subreddit, which I've heard about, by the way, was shut down for explicit material. She is saying the subreddit was shut down. The article is about that. I've not played Pragmata, but I'm a little tapped on stories about men adopt dog-like figures and prove them masculinity by protecting them. I suppose it's marginally better power fantasy than killing everyone with the awesome strength, but then Last of Us makes room for both anyway. If I play Pragmata, and Capcom's post-launch attitude towards Diana fandom will be a major factor in this, it won't be because I find the child in the center of the game attractive. I hope gaming can get back into a place where if it's too much to hope that people let cease to exist. Okay, there we go. So it barely even mentions it. It's about the subreddit getting banned. So, AndyPants, you took an article talking about a banned subreddit and acted like the writer of the article was the problem. What's going on in chat? Favorite Anthony, play Pragmata. Okay, I'm seeing people talk about chat. What's going on here? The commenter. Oh, on top chat. That's why I can't see him. Okay. The commenter 20. Okay, thank you. I was on top chat. That was the problem. Okay. The commenter. Go in timeout. Okay, bye, commenter. I don't know what you said. Didn't really. You said sorry about that. You're gone now. Cool. He's done. Sorry, didn't even see that. My bad. Yeah, I had him on the top chat, so he wasn't even like coming in through top chat, so I couldn't see what he was saying. Anyway, I don't care, but I don't care. As long as if he's causing problems, he's banned. So fuck him. Anyway, back to this.
About Diana in a sexual way somehow. Bro, imagine you were playing Last of Us in 2013. Super wholesome game about Joel protecting.
The Last of Us is wholesome? Oh yeah, nothing wholesome like having fungus kick over your brains.
Ellie. Now imagine a leftist drives by and yells, pedo bait. You would just laugh at them and be like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? Why would you even bring that up? That's so weird to bring that up.
Buddy, you know the issue is the subreddit getting banned, right? It's the subreddit. It's actions on Reddit that were not in the gaming circle jerk section you talked about, but a different subreddit getting banned. You're just fucking lying, man. All right, let's let the super chats play real quick.
At Black Rabbit Studios 11 super chatted $1.99. Couldn't give us girl from Ipanema?
Exactly.
At the guy 493 super chatted $5. Oh dear God, Q Force. Hey, thanks for the only bi character being a bigoted closet case. Thanks for that, Netflix.
Love that.
At Racerk45 super chatted $5. I want to know if AndyPants has even seen K-pop Demon Hunters, or is that movie too woke for him?
You know it's too woke for him. It's too spicy for him to handle.
At Lupin the Maelstrom super chatted $2. Colbert stood in for the bear like a true homie.
Like a true homie. Agreed.
At Wing of Shoe super chatted $2. Not only wrong, but it's dangerous to lie like this.
Exactly. It is because it's always to prove it wrong. Like that's the thing about the react I'm going to do later on this week.
At Racer45 super chatted $2. Now I'm convinced AndyPants is conspiracy minded.
Oh yeah. No, he's very conspiracy minded. He's very conspiracy minded. But yeah, no, apparently Top Chat just censors out all the worst people, apparently. Crazy how that works, isn't it? Anyway, back to this.
Anytime somebody calls something pedo bait when literally nobody even brought that up, you should.
Andy, the subreddit was banned. That's the conversation. That's what's happening. That's the relevant detail. Speed it up, buddy.
You should start checking dude's hard drive. I'm talking about Actman, Angry Joe, Destiny, Hassan. It's always
One of these faces looks very familiar. Can you guess which one looks familiar to the channel? One of these people is not like the other. Also, Angry Joe did give me a shout out one time, so I do appreciate that. I still appreciate that, man. Yeah, Dead Domain's on here. Which is kind of why I wanted to cover this. Yeah, Dead Domain. Dead Domain, very well, famously, they did a react to AndyPants Game initially when it came out. That's how a lot of... Also, I find it funny, the spectrum of politics. Actman, Angry Joe, Hassan, Dead Domain. Quite the spectrum here. Yeah, no. So I here's the thing. I did know Dead Domain was in this video. So I knew that going in that they were in here. Part why I wanted to do it. Because I knew there was overlap with the audience. Trust me, this is not the only time Dead Domain shows up in this video. But we'll keep going.
Always projection. It's always a self-report. Guys, but the funny thing about Pragmata and an entire group of Reddit leftist weirdos projecting their own weird...
AndyPants. The subreddit for Pragmata was banned. Let this come in real quick. Thanks for joining as a reader. If you want to join as a member of the channel, you can always do so right now. I'll be posting the Discord link to members only after the stream is done.
Weird desires onto a wholesome game. You know, I thought, and it reminded me of something, and it reminded me of a game that I created about a year ago. It came out in...
The CSAM game. Yes, it's AndyPants mad that the CSAM game he made came out. For those who don't remember, AndyPants last May, it's almost coming up on a year, past a year of it now, Jesus, released a video game where he projects his weird fantasies about American life. And in the game features a character who's based on his daughter, put into sexually explicit scenarios. A character he is quoted as saying is based on his daughter. Chad versus the gay Nazis, which, by the way, all AI. The gay Nazis, the design is clearly ripped from Jinro and the Wolf Brigade. If you don't believe me, take a look. Here's the gay Nazi design. This is Jinro. It is this is from Jinro, a clear ripoff. Like viscerally clear. I don't know how much more explicit you can get. See, it's a clear ripoff. Clearly a ripoff of this thing right here. Look at the design. It's like 1-to-1. Let me see this. Andy. Let me get a better picture of it. Gaming. Game. Oh, I got pictures of me coming up actually on here. I typed in AndyPants Gaming and I came up. Oh, John Delarue was defending this shit. Of course he was. Okay, here we go. Yeah, John Delarue would fucking defend this game. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to bring that up. Yeah, Dead Domain suffered through the whole game. It's pretty impressive that they went through it, but still. Killzone also. Killzone also ripped off Jinro, I feel like. So
in May 2025. So just to give you a summary of Chad versus the gay Nazis, basically this game, it's about a...
AndyPants, you're anti-Semitic. You're on their side. You're on the Nazi side, man. Equal Rights for Maps, the group that's famously kicked out of any LGBTQIA gathering. Maps. Jesus Christ.
Man, all these leftist cucks and weirdos are running the government, and they're the gay Nazis, and they take this Chad is the main character, and they take his daughter from him. And so, you know, I can't say on YouTube because I'm going to get banned. I can't say what he did to them, but
your game was shown on YouTube. It's not, you're not that clever. Listen, AndyPants, despite you being so edgy and so badass for, the man on YouTube, what people were making fun of you for was how fucking transparent it is, right? I don't even know this. The left watches shit like fucking John Waters, like more extreme shit than you've ever put out in your videos. The reason why people were rolling their eyes at Chad versus the gay Nazis was that it was stupid. It was fucking dumb. That's the problem. Your game was dumb and reflective of a delusional worldview. People did not think your game was particularly edgy. They thought it was stupid and possibly illegal. There's a reason it got removed from Steam, because it broke the TOS. Much like how the Pragmata subreddit broke TOS on Reddit. Hey, Pragmata subreddit, Chad versus the gay Nazis, TOS. Is there a sort of connection there? I think there might be. What's the commonality between the Pragmata subreddit and your video game? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a C and ends with Sam. What could it be? I don't know what to tell you.
Let's just say he removed these people from existence and he went after them. And so the game is about a bunch of LGBTQ pedos who take this dad's daughter and he comes after them. And guys, I don't even care that my game got banned. Like, it's so ridiculous
care,
because
man. He doesn't care the game got banned. It's fine. I'm over it. It's been a year of this AI game I put together. I'm not mad at all.
Steam has the most vile, disgusting porn you've ever seen, and yet,
yes. Why is it fine that that fucking Sayana Uta is on Steam, but your game isn't on there? Why is Sayana Uta, as the Song of Saya, on Steam right now, but your game isn't? I can't imagine what it might be.
My game gets banned.
Yeah,
my perfectly wholesome game in which a man.
Your perfectly wholesome game. Where you have your daughter in explicit scenes. That one? The game that you designed, that you chose to put your daughter in explicit scenes? That one? Perfectly wholesome. Perfectly wholesome.
Defends his daughter gets banned. And so I don't even care if I make money off the game anymore. I'm going to drop 4 links down below in the YouTube video, 4 different places you can download the game right now. It runs on PC. If you want to pay me for the game, if you want to send me like $10, feel free to send it to Venmo, or you can just email me here, and maybe I'll send you my PayPal address. But guys, as always, this happened with Pragmata. And
also, what's going with your editing, dude? Why are you just doing like, are you just like screen capturing a fucking like super zoomed in edit of like a pin board? Okay, so here's what I'm talking about, right? His editing looks terrible, right? He's just screen capturing a zoom in on a picture. His last video I saw of his was like that too, last week. So what is up with that? Yeah. Also, define wholesome. Yeah, chat, thank you. The Inigo Montoya. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Yeah, exactly.
Happened with my game, Chad versus the gay Nazis. When the light appears, when something good, beautiful, and true appears, there's always freaks who want to twist it. Like,
really, explain what they were upset by then, Andy. What were people upset by? Like the Act Man who beat you in a debate, and Dead Domain. I saw Dead Domain down there. We'll get to them soon.
And do the satanic work that they always do. So specifically, I'm talking about people like Act Man, Hassan, Dead Domain, and all these freaks.
He is so fucking ass mad about Dead Domain. This is hilarious. Yeah, he's too fucking lazy to do any of this shit. It's so crazy how... Dude, you're not mad at all, but you're raving about it a year later that they fucking said your game had CSAM in it.
By the way, bro, what's up with all these? So that we got the Act Man in this photo here. Bro, what's up with all the like kids toys, dude? Are you running a daycare? Do you have children regularly over at your house, bro? Like,
I know you don't because your wife and kids are not there.
it's just creepy, man. So, basically, when my game came out a year ago, Chad versus the Gay Nazis,
Here we go.
Actman got so triggered by my anti-pedo game that he started telling people my wife and kids left me. Hang on, I got a funny audio clip for that. Babe, did you know that these losers on the internet said that you took the kids and left me? What do you think about that? Just say something.
I don't know what to say. Well, that's hilarious because I'm standing right here and we just put the kids down for bed.
That sounds like AI. I don't believe you. I think it's AI. I think it's AI. What do you guys think? Chat, do you think it's AI? Totally real. Totally real. I love how it's like, I don't know what to say. Totally different sounding voice comes on. Yeah. AI or Fiverr model, 1 to 2. So AI. It's like, hey, guys, I'm not alone. Here's my wife. Here's my wife, the body pillow. I would have a body pillow, but I don't have one, sadly. I have a wife instead. Anyway, back to this. So, yeah, I think it's AI. I don't fucking buy for a second that's his actual wife. Sounds totally different. Yeah, Pixar didn't happen, exactly. Now, Dead Domain, meanwhile, played your fucking game, and you can't say anything that they said about your game is wrong, can you? Not in the least. Not in the least.
But guys, then the other hilarious thing was that this weirdo, like, look at this dude, man. This dude like dresses up and thinks that it's a woman.
Dead Domain is not a woman. Dead Domain is non-binary, which means even your insults are bad. Also, Dead Domain cosplays fucking Cloud Strife, so there you go.
Dead Domain is his name, and he just dresses up and tries to convince people that he's a chick.
Like, that's the thing. Like, imagine like accident being so transphobic. You're accidentally like fucking validating their gender. Imagine being so transphobic, you loop around into validating gender by accident. In trying to insult Dead Domain. Okay. I'll stop.
Bro, why do you have kids to he is a freak, and he called my Chad game CP.
Yes. Because it has CSAM in it.
Which you can go download my game above and you can play it right now, and you can see that it doesn't contain anything like that. It's a
AndyPants. Is your sales pitch genuinely download my game and see if there's CSAM in it? Is that genuinely your pitch? Download my game and buy it to check if there's CSAM in it. Is that your fucking pitch? Dude, most things do not have authentic arguments that there's CSAM. That's your sales pitch. Hey, play my game and see if it contains contraband concepts in it. That's like someone going like, hey, I didn't pour bleach in the White House pool. Jump in and see if there is any bleach in there. Jesus Christ. Fucking nuts.
completely wholesome game. But guys, what this all comes down to really is these people need Jesus. They need Jesus Christ. They're disgusting creatures. They're awful people. And it's ironic to bring this all back to Pragmata.
Do you know what needs Jesus, actually? Your editing skills, because they fucking suck. They need an intervention from Jesus. Jesus would do better editing jobs than you do. Okay.
They're always projecting, man. They see stuff like this, and because their brain is so rotted by porn and their minds are so dark and evil, they can't have normal thoughts. It is unable for them to have normal thought.
Dude, you are aware that all the people you're talking about were reacting to the subreddit getting banned, right? Do you actually know that? No? Okay, then.
But again, guys, it's just projection. It's always Jewish projection. They have a thought, and so they accuse you of having the thoughts that they have in order to...
Dude, you made a game about how the Nazis were bad, and you spout Nazi conspiracy bullshit. Okay, buddy. You don't see any issue with that? Anything that's not aligned properly? No? Yeah? Okay.
To take the focus off of them. So boys, sticking with the theme of the LGBTQ crowd not being able to be normal for 5 seconds, I want to talk about 3 absolutely awful games they tried to ram into the game industry that nobody played. IGN gave these games 10 out of 10s.
I'm going to be really honest with you. I couldn't be asked to talk about any of these games. I really couldn't. But let's see what they say.
The 3 games are Mixtape, Aphelion, and Directive 8020. All 3 are some flavor of white man bad game. Later on,
Really? How so? Explain it to me.
I want to answer the $1 million question. Why? Why?
Also, who cares what IGN says? I'll be honest with you. Who cares? Why does IGN matter? Yeah, I've never played any of these games. I'm sorry. None of these are the games I'm talking about. The only thing I've heard about Mixtape is from right-wingers getting angry at it. I've never heard a single left-wing person saying, yeah, Mixtape, that looks like a fun game. I've only heard right-wing people complaining about Mixtape. I'll be honest, I don't even know anyone who's even fucking played Mixtape. So, like, what's your goddamn point? Channel Chariot made a good video. Oh, so Chariot did a good video on that. Okay, that's fine. Chariot's pretty cool. I like Chariot. IGN did not rate Aphelion. Okay.
Why has our culture become so ridiculously gay and evil? All right, let's get into it. So when I go downstairs and open up my...
I, for one, am glad every time I see a pride parade or anyone wearing a rainbow pin, it shortens AndyPants' life by a year from the sheer rage he feels from it. That can't be a good way to live. I'm not gonna lie. That angry all the time.
My family's generic Samsung TV. Literally, one of the first things I see is an icon to play the game Mixtape.
Why do you think that might be, AndyPants? Do you think that maybe the reason why you see those ads is because you're looking at the game? Do you ever consider that the game is... Those ads are marketing to you. Now, I personally have never seen a Mixtape ad on my computer or my TV because it knows I don't give a crap about Mixtape at all. You know, game ads I have seen a lot on my computer for, though, and on my feed. I've seen a ton of ads for Lego Batman. Because my TV knows, hey, buddy, you like comics? Lego Batman came out. I've heard Seals, Kiss from a Rose, on repeat multiple times in the last couple of weeks. Less so now because the game's is dying down a little bit. But the ads are curated to your search options. Yeah. So, the thing is, if you are searching for stuff like Mixtape, it will send you Mixtape. The only person you have to blame for all of this gay propaganda that you're being confronted with, it's you. You are the culprit for the gay propaganda because you are engaging with it. You are welcoming it into your home. And therefore, the systems are going, oh, you want more of this? Okay, here's more of it. Also, 103 in game. It's single player game, very short, from what I understand, so they probably play it real quick.
And then I go on Steam and I see there's 130 people playing this game, and it just
There's like a Hogwarts Legacy died off pretty quickly too. Single player game.
came out. Bro, how is this possible that this game is on every TV screen in America and nobody's playing it? Oh, right, it's just another AstroTurf game funded by gay Jewish billionaires hoping they can spend trillions of dollars trying to convince you that men are evil and
AndyPants, you are the only person I have ever seen even mention Thunder Force. Like, not even even complain about it. I haven't seen anyone even refer to it existing. I genuinely thought Thunder Force was a fucking fever dream of mine. Now, as a Jane Austen fan, the Persuasion remake, not a fan because it was a piss poor adaptation, but Thunder Force is a movie no one has seen at all. Like, no one's thought of it. Ever. It's not anyone's radar. It's barely even a concept. No one gives a fuck about Thunder Force. Okay.
And women are inherently good. Let's just say I hope some of these people end up in Idaho, if you know what I mean. So
Idaho recently brought back the firing squad, so that's what he's referring to. So he wishes the people who watch a Melissa McCarthy comedy are executed by firing squad. Yeah, Q-Force is... Like, I gave it an honest shake. It wasn't my kind of thing. I thought it was very, rude, like RuPaul Drag Race kind of gay comedy where it's like, no, I prefer more like John Waters, like really raunchy, disgusting kind of comedy. I find that more funny.
So the problem with the game itself is that it's not a game at all.
I think so
Most
too.
sections are not failable. Hold forward to play is the best way to describe this game. It's not even a game. And then the content reeks of...
Is YouTube aware that AndyPants did a CSAM? Listen, I'll be honest with you. YouTube is weird when it comes to moderation. The only person, aside from Ethan Van Sciver before I got on YouTube, whose videos have been reported was Lily Orchard. Lily Orchard sent multiple DMCA strikes to my channel. Lily Orchard, I sent YouTube information proving Lily Orchard falsely flagged her critics' videos to get them taken down. Multiple times. And bragged about it on stream. Crickets. Got my videos that she false flagged, brought back. No harm, no foul. But YouTube did not do anything about Lily Orchard breaking aggressively their terms of service. Now, something like AndyPants' game is not on YouTube. It was on Steam. So not going to hold him accountable for that. So YouTube wouldn't care, I don't think. As sad as it is, they wouldn't care.
Millennial nostalgia AI slop. Oh man, the 90s was so great.
How's it AI? Like, what's AI about it? It's not AI.
Despite completely misrepresenting...
Wait. Oh, the 90s was so great. Didn't you just make a video about how the 2000s was so great? And you said Creed was the reason the 2000s were great? Or one of the things about it? Okay, fuck it.
Presenting the 90s because I grew up in the 90s and it was nothing like this. The story follows two dykes and one stoner loser dude. There's a really disgusting scene in which the game...
They're both lesbians? Okay, well, AndyPants, let me ask you a serious question. Be honest. During the 90s, were you a lesbian? The 90s to you would be nothing like that because A, you're not a lesbian, B, you're not a woman, and C, no one would ever invite you to the blunt rotation. So it's nothing like this for you, buddy. You ain't getting invited to that. You can't. No one would want you there. Anyway.
Game sexualizes a teenager, and there's two tongues.
Didn't you make an AI game that also sexualized people younger than being teenagers?
Kissing. You are technically controlling like a 14-year-old in this scene. Guys, just remember IGN gave this game a...
It's a kissing simulator, and it's like two teenagers tonguing each other awkwardly. Dude, that's the kind of jokes you saw in fucking Family Guy and The Simpsons. This is genuinely a joke from the fucking Simpsons. And that's too extreme for you? Dude, how weak are you if this is too much for you to handle?
A 10 out of 10. Finally, you meet Cassandra's dad, who is a cop. All the dude wants is his daughter to stop being a whore, basically,
Jesus
and that's
Christ.
just too hard for her.
All he wants is to fucking dominate his daughter's wishes and desires and control her, and it's just too much for her to handle. Can't imagine why that might be.
Moving on to the next game here.
Oh, that's just moving on now. Okay. Sorrow. You didn't mention Sorrows before. It's totally a new game you're talking about.
Just like Soros, the recent PS5 exclusive where you play as a G flavor of white.
There's no Sorrows here. You see Sorrows? I don't see Sorrows.
PS5 exclusive where you play as a Jeet who gets cucked by two lesbians in the end. Aphelion is the latest global...
What was that word he said? What did he say? Like I thought he first said like the name. I thought he first said a name. Like a Middle Eastern name. Then I'm like, wait, what? It took a second. I'm like, wait a second. That's a slur, right? Against Indian. Okay, excellent. I'm not going crazy. Because at first I'm thinking like, what the fuck is he talking about? Jesus Christ. What a fucking asshole. Yeah, YouTube doesn't care, apparently, if you say slurs. Jesus Christ.
Homo attempt to make you think that if you're a white guy, you definitely need to marry a black woman, and all black girl bosses are stunning and brave, and really your white European culture just doesn't matter at all.
Are you going to explain how?
It's a space game. It's a walking sim, and it's made by Don't Nod.
Wait a second. Hang on. Do you see that, guys?
It's made by Don't Nod Entertainment. You definitely...
Wait, yeah, look at that. That's not my cursor. He's just screen capping the YouTube video. Look, see, here's my cursor. It's not my cursor right here. Like right there at the bottom of the screen. He literally just screen capped the YouTube video and didn't bother to like edit around. No, mind you, I've had to screen cap videos sometimes, like when I'm referencing things won't like rip properly. That's fine. But you don't like make it obvious that you're screen capping the video. You have to edit around it. That's embarrassing. Jesus.
You need to marry a black woman, and all black girl bosses are stunning and brave, and really your white European culture just doesn't matter at all. It's a space game. It's a walking sim, and it's made by Don't Nod Entertainment. Do we really need to say anything more about this?
Yes. Explain why it's anti-European. What's anti... I still don't know what you're talking about yet. I know... AndyPants. If I know nothing about this game, which I don't, because I don't give a fuck about this game, you gotta explain to me how it's the thing you're saying it is.
The game cost $20 million to make, and there's... Are you... Bro, there's 4 people online playing this game right now.
No one heard of it. I'm sorry. The marketing was pretty bad if I never heard it before.
Guys, this game is on the front page of Xbox Gay Pass right now, and literally nobody will touch it. This is how bored and tired people are of slop. Moving on to the last game I want to talk about, Directive 8020. You star as, wait for it, a black girl boss. So stunning, so brave. Bro, why is this chick so dog ugly for real? If you're gonna have a black chick, like at least make her hot. There are beautiful black women out there. Why did they pick the busted down one working in a McDonald's drive-thru? But it gets worse because all the white women are dykey and have boy haircuts as well. Like, dude, who is this for? Who is...
AndyPants, do you just, like, look at what women look like in games and then make a decision to play them based on that? Like, this is pure incel behavior. Like, your only metric of judging these games is looking at the women and going, I like this woman, she hot. I don't like this woman, she bad. Game bad. Like what is your metric for quality? How much your misogyny boner gets raised up by how much you hate these people? Like what is your goal here? What is your objective?
Playing this. So I played a decent amount of the Dark Pictures games and I thought they were fine. I love Alien games. I pretty much simp for...
And yet during your ranking video, you got mad at a freaking Alien Isolation 2.
Anything in the Aliens franchise, no matter how bad it is. AVP 2010, great first-person shooter to play, by the way.
It's not even the best AVP game. I mean, it's a good game, but not the best one.
But even this game, I just can't stomach. Like I said, the women are dog ugly. There's no...
What does Alien have to do with anything, then? It's a totally different franchise. Where's the connection here?
Actual gameplay other than walking around and touching things. It's just truly an awful DEI game.
You know, Alien Isolation really is just walking around in the dark, if you think about it. One of the best games around, though.
All right, boys, so just to tie things up here, I wanted to talk about why.
Pride is both individual and collective. As a queer sick man, it's about authenticity. It's about boldness and impact.
Why is everything so gay, so evil, so degenerate? And I think you might be surprised by my answer this time. If you look at America and you trace our history back...
American history, and you chose The Patriot. You chose Mel Gibson's The Patriot as your depiction of American history. One of the least accurate depictions of the Revolutionary War. Buddy. Jesus Christ. Nah, I'm done. I'm done. This is too stupid. This is too stupid, even for me. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's it for today. I think I've had enough internet for one day. Come back on Friday. We're going to be talking... Oh, hey, that's it. Super Chats. I have to let Super Chats play. 1 second. My apologies. Let's let Super Chats play real quick. Sorry, I almost forgot about that.
At Black Rabbit Studios 11 super chatted $4.99. Wanna do an Omegaverse visual novel with a mask Omega protag and has a femme alpha for one of the love interests just to see this man react to it.
I would love that too. I would love that too.
At Nick Wolf 3885 super chatted $2. Let's hear my wife talk while I drink some water.
Absolutely drinking some water. Nothing else.
At Lucky_Dagger super chatted $5. Buy my game and risk criminal charges by possessing contraband. AndyPants Gaming in the year of our Lord 2026. At WC Wit super chatted $4.99. 12 years later and we still have to hear these tools kvetching about walking simulators.
Yeah, and some are pretty bad, but some aren't. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around. This Friday, we are going to react to some real garbage. A hit piece has been made about me, and I plan on exposing how every single thing it says is not just wrong, but an outright lie. And you know what? I got receipts to prove it. Let's hope that he doesn't put it back on Rumble before the time is up, but it doesn't matter because I already ripped the video and it's going to be put together anyway. So, thank you everyone so much for watching. My voice is tired, and I, for one, need to play good games to get the memory of everything AndyPants said out of my brain. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I will see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.